Conference play continues here in Upper St. Clair as the Panthers host South Fayette. The Lions looking to rain on the homecoming parade here at Panther Stadium tonight. Some new faces in the mix, but both teams returning starting quarterbacks. Welcome to the Friday Night Countdown, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru. I'm Allie Cohen alongside Damon McDermott. South Fayette playing for their first win over Upper St. Clair since joining Class 5A. South Fayette coming off of a routing over Baldwin. Upper St. Clair, a tough loss to rival Peters Township. Panthers head coach Mike Junko saying they lost the battle, but they were very much in the war. Lots of talent on the field tonight, including quarterbacks Ethan Helman and Drew Welhorsky. Helman leading the WPIL in passing yards, and Welhorsky dual threat, nearly 2,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing last year. What do you expect from this game tonight, Damon?
I don't know what to expect. If you look on paper, a lot of people might say Upper St. Clair is going to win this game, but then you look at the talent. We just had South Fayette running drills behind us. They're just as big, and Upper St. Clair doesn't play a lot of games where they can match up body on body, a lot of Division I talent on both sides of the ball, and you talked about it. Aiden Wright's a freshman running back that has scored some crazy touchdowns this year, has been on our top 10 plays. So, again, this game can go either way, and I'm so excited to watch all this talent on the field here tonight. All
right, let's get into headlines this week. First up, Fox Chapel proposal. Fox Chapel AD proposing teams would be divided into 7 divisions based on current and past performance, roster numbers, and programs' current standing. Right now, teams are divided into 6 classifications by male enrollment. Lot of controversy around this.
Yeah, and I told you I could talk about this for like 20 minutes. When I played, it was single A, double A, triple A, quad A. I went to a school that was right on the edge of double A and triple A. And, yeah, we would complain. We'd be like, hey, we should be playing double A. We might win WPIL title. We played triple A. I remember we got knocked out to Thomas Jefferson, who had double the roster size. And I think he made some good points. I like that they're at least saying they're trying to make a solution for the problem, where we've seen from Baldwin and other schools, they just will have a complaint, but there's no solution. Fox Chapel, I think they made some good points, but what I would like to say always is the kid should have an opinion. I think, are you coaching the hardest you can? Are you improving every way you can? Are you watching the most film? Are you lifting at 6, 7 o'clock like a lot of these state playoff teams do? I think you got to see how you can improve first before you're always wondering, okay, maybe we need to make this a little bit easier. Everybody knows football is the hardest high school sport. Every kid that signs up for it knows what they're getting into, and they don't want to be the team that's asking for help. They just want to get better.
Yeah, I would say that most kids probably agree at the high school level and beyond. Next up, Bullies of the City. Westinghouse has gone 6 years without losing a regular season game in the City League. The Bulldogs ran their first streak to 27 in a row with a 44-16 win over Alderdice, my alma mater, this last week. I can't claim that we were ever the best football team. Last time a City League opponent beat them in the regular season was 32-22, lost to USO on September 5th in 2019. So the Westinghouse Bulldogs getting it done.
And this is a prime example. Props to the Bulldogs. They usually have 20 to 25 kids on the roster. I remember last year they won a game with 12 kids, and they played both sides of the football. Their quarterback will play defensive back or linebacker. They're returning kicks. And sometimes we forget about the City League a little bit. These guys, watch out for them. When they make the state playoffs in single A, I'd love to see a Fort Cherry, Westinghouse matchup. Last year they beat Winburn, and then they ran into a buzzsaw, but they're favorites to win the state title this year, and they're unbelievable. Imagine not losing a conference game. You don't want to drop one now after that record's now going on for 9 years.
And you don't see dominance like that in the City League and City League football very often, so it's cool to see.
Absolutely.
Next up, WPIL resurgence. A handful of teams breaking the mold. Their programs have been stuck in. Teams like Freeport, Western Beaver, Newcastle, South Allegheny, Southmoreland, Jefferson, Morgan. What do you take? What do you make of this?
We were just talking about it a little bit. I mean, you got to improve. A lot of these freshmen are now sophomore, juniors. Freeport, they're a rival of mine. I went to Highlands. They're playing Highlands tonight, a big matchup. But they're undefeated, and they've only given up 5.6 points a game. They're scoring 42 points, and that's a program a lot of people forgot about. One more, Western Beaver. Every year they've improved their win-loss margin. This year they're 6-0. They might go undefeated all the way into the playoffs. Some of these teams, it's awesome to see some transparency in the WPIL and seeing these new teams be undefeated or only one loss.
You got to change mentality, got to change preparation. When you get the right kids, you got to get it done. Coming up, Upper St. Clair playing to get back in the win column this week, while South Fayette is playing for their first win over the Panther since joining 5A. More coming up next on the Friday Night Countdown. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. You're not going to believe this, but they're not going to make the Subaru Legacy anymore. We have over 2025 Subaru Legacies in stock. No more coming. If you want a Subaru sedan, come on up and get one before they're gone. We have another offer. Rates as low as 1.9% on the remaining 2025 Crosstreks and 2025 Outbacks. A few more coming, but come on up and get one and get a great rate now.
At Giant Eagle, we believe in better, because this recipe is 4 generations and going strong.
Yeah.
Because it's more than a cake, it's a tradition. Because when you were little, this made it all better too. Because this has been Sunday for as long as you could remember. For over 90 years, Giant Eagle has been here to keep your traditions going strong. Because it matters.
Thanks.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
Let's get back to it on the Friday Night Countdown, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru. Homecoming here at Panther Stadium tonight as Upper St. Clair hosts South Fayette. I'm Allie Cohen alongside Damon McDermott. We'll pick things up right away with our friends at the Post-Gazette, Keith Barnes and Matt Press, with our 2-minute drill.
Well, the temperatures are dropping. That means the race for the WPIL football playoffs is heating up. Hi, I'm Post-Gazette High School Sports Coordinator Keith Barnes, along with my esteemed colleague Matt Press. And we're here to talk about what's going on in the WPIL right now. Matt, what did you see last week that kind of struck you?
Well, we saw some history last week. South Allegheny 6-0 for the first time in program history. And when you look at how quickly they've turned around as a team in just the past 3 years, it's really impressive. Brian Hansen takes over. They go 1-9 in 2022 and 23. And now, I mean, look at them. They go 9-3 last year. They're 6-0 now for the first time in program history, and maybe the favorites to win Class 2A. So South Allegheny has just been super impressive all season.
I agree with you. That's been a great story, just watching the Gladiators move from the bottom all the way to the top. For me, it's a team that kind of struggled coming out. Well, not since coming out of the gate. When they came out of the gate, they looked really good, and that's the McKeesport Tigers. And they had Keemon Spell, who had 5 touchdowns, 292 yards, and returned the opening kickoff, 92 yards for a touchdown. Then he got an ankle injury before the second game, and he was out for most of the next 4 weeks. Last week, came back strong, had over 100 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. And this is a team that's building towards next week's game against Mars. It's going to be a showdown at Weigel Schaefer Stadium. It's going to be amazing. But McKeesport's a team to watch. I still think they're the team to beat in Class 4A. But let's talk about a little bit of Class 5A football. We have South Fayette and Upper St. Clair. Matt, what do you see in this one?
Couple good quarterbacks in this game. Drew Welhorsky for South Fayette and obviously Ethan Helman for Upper St. Clair. There's talent too for South Fayette. Anthony Charles, edge, who's committed to Minnesota, but I still like Upper St. Clair here. Statistically, Ethan Helman's been the best quarterback in the WPIL this year, and I think their offense is just going to be a little too much for South Fayette to contain.
This is kind of an interesting game because I think both of them are going to have a little bit of a letdown this week. South Fayette is coming off playing Baldwin, which can bring anybody down, considering Baldwin's on a 25-game losing streak and everything that was wrapped around what happened with Baldwin last week. Then you talk about Upper St. Clair losing that heartbreaker against Peters Township. There's a chance for both teams to be a little bit down coming into this, but I agree with you. I think Upper St. Clair, I think Mike Junko is going to have them ready to go. Ethan Helman has just been one of the great stories in the WPIL this year. He has over 1,400 yards passing, 12 touchdowns. His efficiency is amazing. I like Upper St. Clair in this as well. Well, for Matt Press, I'm Keith Barnes of the Post-Gazette. Now let's send it back.
Taking a closer look at who's on the field tonight, starting with the visiting South Fayette Lions coming in at 5-1. Only loss was to Cannon Mack in week 3. They've got some players, Damon. Of course, dual threat QB Drew Welhorsky, but defensive end Anthony Charles committing to Minnesota. Freshman running back Aiden Wright visiting the University of Pittsburgh this coming up weekend.
Yeah, they have talent all over the field, and I really want you to pay attention to that Cannon Mack game. They do have a common opponent. Well, we know Upper St. Clair beat Cannon Mack pretty handedly. But again, I think these two styles, when they clash tonight, this game's going to be close, and that Cannon Mack game is going to be an outlier. I think they have the speed with Aiden Wright to keep up. They have the size up front with Colton Asperano and with Anthony Charles. And then you have all these playmakers with Daniel Specca. You have Braden Plasko as the middle linebacker. And then you have, again, Drew Welhorsky, who I think will score a rushing touchdown tonight. He'll have a passing touchdown tonight. He'll do everything you need from him. The biggest thing, they need to limit turnovers. Welhorsky has 5 turnovers this year, 3 picks, 2 fumbles.
Upper St. Clair, the home team, also at 5-1 on the season. They lost to their rivals, Peters Township, last week, 24-20. This Panthers team looks and plays a little different than they did last year. Ethan Helman, 4-year starter QB. They get it done, but in a different way this year. Yeah,
you would have never thought. Now they're a pass-heavy team. We'll get into him as he's one of our impact players. But Helman this year, his stat line, when you look at it, it is video game number-esque. You mentioned that Peters Township game. They lost with 42 seconds on a 4th and 2. They tried to throw it twice, so they got rid of that identity they had last year. Maybe they should have ran that football, but they can't think about that game anymore. You got to win tonight here on homecoming against South Fayette.
Again, Coach Junko saying they were very much in they lost the battle, but very much in the war. We'll take a quick break. When we come back on Friday Night Countdown, Matt Fargo sits down with South Fayette quarterback Drew Welhorsky. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. You're not going to believe this, but they're not going to make the Subaru Legacy anymore. We have over 2025 Subaru Legacies in stock. No more coming. If you want a Subaru sedan, come on up and get one before they're gone. We have another offer. Rates as low as 1.9% on the remaining 2025 Crosstreks and 2025 Outbacks. A few more coming, but come on up and get one and get a great rate now.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. You're not going to believe this, but they're not going to make the Subaru Legacy anymore. We have over 2025 Subaru Legacies in stock. No more coming. If you want a Subaru sedan, come on up and get one before they're gone. We have another offer. Rates as low as 1.9% on the remaining 2025 Crosstreks and 2025 Outbacks. A few more coming, but come on up and get one and get a great rate now.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Countdown, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru. Action set to get underway here at Panther Stadium in just a bit. Upper St. Clair and South Fayette. South Fayette, the smallest 5A school based on male enrollment, kind of like the little brother of the conference. It wouldn't be out of line to say that they kind of have a chip on their shoulder. They've also got a bunch of chips in front of them, including dual threat quarterback Drew Welhorsky. Matt Fargo sat down with him for a Friday night conversation.
Friday Night Conversations with the South Fayette quarterback, Drew Welhorsky, joins me. Drew, thanks so much for taking some time out.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Quarterback for the Lions, that comes with a lot of expectation and pedigree. Growing up, what was that like to did you have the expectation, the thought that you'd be the guy and wearing the C on the jersey?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching Drew Saxton and Brett Brumbaugh, all those guys who have had amazing seasons and left their legacy on the program. So growing up, I was always a big fan of watching them. I never really knew I was going to play quarterback till probably around middle school, late elementary school, and then as I got through middle school, it was really like, I got to live up to this quarterback name at South Fayette. So it's awesome. It's honestly an honor to play quarterback at South Fayette, and it's awesome.
Who are some of the younger guys that are going to step up and maybe fill in some voids from last year's squad?
Yeah, so we have a really big lineman named Evan Early. He played a little bit of tight end for us last year and a little bit of end towards the end of the year when we had some guys go down, but he's a really hard worker. He's really been putting in the work this offseason. I'm excited to see him play some offensive line for us. Obviously, Alex Deans, still a young guy. He played for us last year, had an amazing season. Ray Schuler, he's coming up to play with us. Aiden Wright, he's going to be a freshman. He's a really fast, really quick running back. I think he's going to be really good for us. I'm excited to play with him. And yeah, I'm just excited for everyone to get a shot with us.
Who's a quarterback that you would say you model your game after, or that you like to watch on film?
Honestly, one of my favorite quarterbacks is Josh Allen. I just love the way he uses his size and his ability to move the pocket and just expand plays. I think that Josh Allen is a quarterback that I really model myself off of.
What was the biggest thing that you worked on from last season to this year?
I think just arm strength in general, and I think more mental stuff than physical stuff, like knowing the playbook better and really being confident in myself to know the reads and understand the defense better.
What's probably the thing that you didn't realize that was going to be difficult playing quarterback at the high school varsity level that you didn't know until you were in it?
Honestly, I think really understanding how the offensive line works on certain plays, not just like telling them something and like they figure it out. Like really knowing where they're going, what their assignments are, really helps me out to understand like how the pocket will move or how the holes will open when I'm running.
What's walking through the halls on a Friday night for Drew Welhorsky? Or Friday afternoon before Friday Night Lights? What's that feeling like for you?
It's always a mix of excitement and nerves. It's the same feeling. It's just trying to stay focused, try not to get too high, too excited, try not to be too nervous, just trying to remain as calm as possible, just getting ready for Friday night.
TV game, the Steelers High School Showcase, you guys were a part of it a season ago. You get another one. Do you think about it, or do you try not to think about it, knowing that there's a few more eyeballs watching on Friday night?
I try my best not to think about it. You know, it's just another game. Like, the TV timeouts definitely play a little bit of a role, which just gives us a break, which is nice. But it's also nice to watch the game back after on TV, which is always cool to see.
Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Drew Welhorsky.
It's time to check in with the guys calling the game. Matt Fargo and former Steeler Arthur Moats. Guys, South Fayette has a very specific game plan each week. The question the coaching staff asks is, can they execute? Kind of how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, that's the question, and I think with two teams that are so similar offensively, practice had to be interesting this week, knowing that you're going up against a very impressive quarterback, a passing attack. And, you know, for Upper St. Clair, we saw them a lot last year. They were run first. What a difference a year makes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it was at times last year where they operated exclusively out of the Wildcat. But now when you look at what Ethan is doing, I mean, the way that they're able to air it out, that has put so much pressure on defenses. And, I mean, when you think about South Fayette, it's a very similar story. You look at what they've been able to do, very explosive in terms of how they score. And I think that that's the part that's going to make this game so interesting tonight.
For Upper St. Clair, their first test was last week against Peters. I think this may be one of the first tests in conference play for South Fayette, and you won't be surprised who our Giant Eagle players to watch are. Let's take a look at South Fayette's quarterback, Drew Welhorsky. It's well documented what he has done, but what makes him so good, Arthur?
Well, to me, it starts with his dual threat ability. You see him right here on the run to his right, rolling out, hitting the guy in stride, and then from there, allowing his receiver to make an explosive play. Then from here, you see him, once again, play action pass, quick release, right? That's what you want to see, putting the ball right on the guy's numbers. Then from here, showing the ability to stretch the field, getting down the middle of the grass right here with a nice throw. And then, of course, his signature, his legs. This is what this kid is really known for, and that's why you like to see him. And if you're a South Fayette fan, you want to see a lot of that tonight because Drew is the linchpin for this offense.
Yeah, headed to Robert Morris to play lacrosse, committed just a month ago. And on the other side, it's 4-year starter Ethan Helman. It feels like he's been playing at USC forever.
No, you're absolutely right. But when you talk about Ethan, you have to talk about his arm. This kid's decision-making, his ability to find the second window for receivers and throwing catchable balls like you see here where the receiver has a chance to run after. This is what makes Ethan special. Then from there, you watch him once again, dropping back, surveying the field. But then from there, waiting to see which window opens up and then delivering a strike across the middle of the field. This is why Ethan is one of the top quarterbacks around here and why Upper St. Clair feels so confident about their chances this season.
Yeah, and I think the big thing out of that last highlight was the fact that he had so much time, that offensive line, albeit that they had a lot of changeover from last year to this year and an injury to go along with it. And the fact now that they are able to be able to say next man up, get that offensive line in place and allow Helman to have so much time to throw the football.
No, you're absolutely right. And they have a lot of size on that offensive line, especially at the tackle position. A big 6'7" guy we'll talk about later on the broadcast.
Going to be a lot of fun. When we come back, we're going to go down for some picks. Don't worry about it. We're going to come right back here on the Friday Night Countdown. Stick around here on KDK Plus.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Subaru. You're not going to believe this, but they're not going to make the Subaru Legacy anymore. We have over 2025 Subaru Legacies in stock. No more coming. If you want a Subaru sedan, come on up and get one before they're gone. We have another offer. Rates as low as 1.9% on the remaining 2025 Crosstreks and 2025 Outbacks. A few more coming, but come on up and get one and get a great rate now.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Massaro Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Massaro Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Massaro Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Massaro Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Friday Night Countdown continues, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru, homecoming at Upper St. Clair tonight. We'll get crew picks for this game in a minute. South Fayette looking to upset Upper St. Clair for the first time since joining 5A. But first, we're going to look at some other WPIL games. We'll start with Montour and Newcastle. Newcastle, great win over Aliquippa last week. Damon, who do you got in this one?
First off, just letting everybody know I went 4-0 last week, so...
Just letting everyone know, I think I went 0-4.
But I'm going to go with Newcastle. I feel like we might have some people on this broadcast, and everybody's going to pick Montour tonight. They didn't let me down last week. That defense has only given up the most this year, 12 points. And they have 4 shutouts. I think they're hot. They found something. Their defense is going to come through tonight. Newcastle.
I'm going with you, Newcastle, on this one, and that's all I'm going to say.
Never mind. Right, now I'm just kidding.
I picked underdogs last week, and I was 0-4. So if you're betting on any of these games, just don't go with my. Just joking. Don't bet. Don't bet on high school. Guys in the booth, who do you have?
Well, I know for me, I kind of like Newcastle in this. I mean, when you think about what they were able to do against Aliquippa, one of the teams that you know are always consistently good, to me, that stands out. And, of course, who doesn't love a little bit of defense? So that's definitely the team I'm going to roll with.
If there is a pretender versus contender game, this is it for Newcastle. They can be all the way a contender if they win this football game. Keeping in mind, last week they did beat Aliquippa, but they did it without Marcus Council at quarterback for the Quips. Now they face a starting quarterback that's been starting all season long. I'm going with Newcastle. I think the freshman quarterback gets it done at home at Taggart Stadium. This one didn't go the way you thought it would, Damon, did it?
For a matchup, Bell Vernon at Chartiers Valley. Char Valley first-year head coach Steve Spence is the team playing well. 5-1 start to the season. I'm taking CV in this one.
I'm going to go with Bell Vernon. I think they've had a little bit of a tougher schedule. They've been playing very tough teams close, like a McKeesport, like a Thomas Jefferson. They know they got to win tonight, and I think they will. This team is not used to having one win this late in the season. I'm going Bell Vernon.
Matt, who you got?
Yeah, I really like Bell Vernon. Matt Humbert, he decides he doesn't want to be the head coach anymore. He's still the athletic director of Bell Vernon. And then Scott Breyer, who's been around the program for so long, been around the beach for so long, and they're still in the conversation. They almost beat TJ last week, and for that reason, give me the Leopards.
Ooh, okay. Well, I guess I'll be one of the outliers then, because I like Char Valley in this matchup. I think the way that they've been playing this year, they are confident. And you look at their record, only one blemish. So to me, I think that they will be able to carry some of that momentum into tonight's matchup and prove that this is a different Char Valley team than years past.
At Arthur Moats in a 6A matchup, longtime rivalry, Hempfield at Norwin. They're sitting in 4th and 3rd in Class 6A, respectively. Norwin starting QB dealing with a leg injury, but I was going to go my pick, but the guys like to sometimes get their picks in first, so I'm going to let you go, Booth. What do you got, Arthur?
Thanks, Allie.
Well, for me, I look at Norwin and I look at Hempfield, and I say, man, this is a classic battle. One team likes to run the football, have a lot of production there. The other likes to get it done through the air. But to me, I'm leaning Norwin. I don't know why. I just feel like in a matchup like this, I honestly feel like it's a pick 'em, but I like Norwin to get it done tonight because I do think they'll be the more physical team in this matchup.
You mentioned, Allie, Tristan Tavares questionable with the injury. Ironically, last year he was questionable with an injury, didn't play and didn't start in the game, but he ended up coming in to try to provide Norwin a little bit of a spark. It was too little too late. I think we might be seeing mirror images of this. Too little too late. Give me Hempfield on the road to take Norwin down.
All right. I'm going Norwin at home. Plus, we have some family ties. My husband's
We're going back
cousin
and forth.
is.
You and Arthur, me and Matt. It's going to be.
Do we have side bets on
I
this?
don't know. It looks like we're agreeing on one.
Yeah, but my husband's first cousin is the principal at Norwin, so.
Oh, you have to. He's
I don't
watching right now.
have to, but also Norwin at home. They're getting it done. I'm going Norwin.
My biggest thing, like Matt talked about, the quarterback Tavares, he is unbelievable. I mean, if you want to watch a kid that should be playing at the next level somewhere, but he's a game-time decision. So even if he can play, is he going to have that dual-threat ability tonight? I have to pick. Like, I have to, and I'm scared. Matt, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Norwin. I think he's gonna play, and I think he's gonna be healthy enough. And I just think Norwin's one of those teams this year that they're gonna be tough to beat all year.
Okay, tonight's showcase game, South Fayette here at Upper St. Clair. Matt, who do you have in this one?
Well, a little fun fact, South Fayette's never beat Upper St. Clair. USC's 7-0. Can the tide change tonight? I don't think so. I think Upper St. Clair, what they did last week for me, competing with Peters Township, really impressed me. I thought that game might be a little bit more lopsided in the direction of Peters Township. It's not impressive for a team to lose often, but for me, it was an impressive loss, and it told me that Upper St. Clair can contend in 5A, so I'm going to roll with USC to get it done. But I think this game's close. Last year it was 17-7, so South Fayette can hang around.
Yeah, when you talk about what Upper St. Clair did a week ago, a lot of people can make the case they should have won the game if there's just a completion in the end zone. So when you think about that and how we view Peters Township, it is very hard to go against Upper St. Clair. But I feel like if there's any year where the Lions are going to get it done, why not now? Last year, 17-7, close matchup. This year, they feel a lot more confident, and with the new head coach, has this team feeling good, clicking on all cylinders. I like the Lions to get it done tonight.
I'm going with Arthur. I'm taking the Lions.
Matt, here we are again. Here we are again. I am going to go with Upper St. Clair. I think you're going to see a quarterback. Last week, I was begging for people to pay attention to some kids that should be playing at the next level. Ethan Helman has video game numbers, like you guys talked about, 20 touchdowns, 1 interception. He has full command. Going against a bunch of D1 recruits last week, had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's going to get it done tonight. Upper St. Clair is not going to lose another game this year. That Peters game was that close, but They're that good. They really are.
All right, we'll see you here soon. South Fayette and Upper St. Clair coming up next. For Damon McDermott, Matt Fargo, Arthur Moats, and the rest of the crew, I'm Allie Cohen. Kickoff coming up next. Thanks for hanging.
JRM Video Productions, winners of a regional Emmy Award for live sporting event.
JRM Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of WPIL High School Football, produced by JRM Video Productions.
Welcome to the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Tonight on a Friday night in Western Pennsylvania, we have an eye in Upper St. Clair for a showdown in the South Hills as the Upper St. Clair Panthers take on the South Fayette Lions. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Matt Fargo, joined alongside the former Pittsburgh Steeler Arthur Moats for tonight's showdown in that South Hills. It is South Fayette and Upper St. Clair, and you know what, Arthur? For USC, they went undefeated in the regular season a season ago, and then they fell into the postseason at Peters Township. They already have felt the loss this year, losing last week to PT. Meanwhile, South Fayette, they came into this game a year ago undefeated. It was their first loss. They've already suffered their first loss of the season. Both of these teams already with that first loss, and I think sometimes, you know, to steal the Mike Tomlinism, winning is deodorant, and now they know what they need to fix, and we're going to get to see it between the white lines here tonight.
No, you're absolutely right. And you're talking about two schools in proximity, extremely close to each other, very familiar, and I think that that's always one of the fun parts in matchups like tonight.
Yeah, and I know you're excited to see these South Fayette Lions.
You better believe it.
Here.
You better believe it.
I'm excited to see what your keys to the game are. It's time now for our St. Vincent Game Changers, presented by St. Vincent College. Arthur, how do you get a win here tonight?
Yeah, well, for me, I think it starts with the Lions awaken tonight. And why is that? Well, we're not talking about Mufasa and company, but more importantly, we're talking about this defense, man. You talk about guys like Anthony Charles. You talk about this quarterback. They have to rise up and play to their full potential to overtake this Panthers team. Now, make it familiar with Helmans. Shout out to Ethan Helman. We obviously know it starts with him when you're talking about Upper St. Clair. What he did last week versus Peters Township and all of those D1 highly recruited players, this kid is special and definitely somebody we're excited to watch tonight in survival of the fittest. I mean, two teams coming in here with one loss on the season. Both have big, big aspirations for winning the WPIL, and of course, it all will be decided tonight.
Our third member of the crew, Allie Cohen, is down to the sidelines tonight. Let's go down to her now.
Guys, Upper St. Clair has put up the second most points in 5A this season. Quarterback Ethan Helman leads the WPIL in passing yards, the high-powered offense. South Fayette knows that they are going to have to slow them down, not only on defense, but they're going to slow their offense down. They're pulling out all of the stops tonight. You're going to see a familiar number on defense. Quarterback Welhorsky making his defensive debut for the Lions. He'll be in at safety. I asked head coach Marty Spieler, hey, what did he think about this? Was he up for it? He said he's been asking me, bugging me for quite a while to play on defense. So they are ready, and they want to beat Upper St. Clair tonight for the first time since joining 5A, guys.
Allie, thank you. It's a rumble in the jungle tonight. Upper St. Clair, South Fayette. Which cat will be tamed? A showdown in the South Hills. USC and South Fayette. Kickoff on our Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. Coming up next.
Giant Eagle, we believe in better. Because Saturday morning is your superpower. Because 7 only comes once. Because game day is your day. Because nothing should get in the way of family time. At Giant Eagle, we're always going for better to bring you the best. Because it matters.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Upper St. Clair, the site of our Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. Upper St. Clair, South Fayette. There's Upper St. Clair coach Mike Junko, a 1992 graduate of USC, coaching his alma mater at home tonight. Time now for the show kickoff to get us rolling along here at USC. Jacobo Hechavarria puts a boot into it and kicks this thing out of the back of the end zone for a touchback, and it will be the South Fayette offense led by Drew Welhorsky. You see him there onto the field for the Lions of South Fayette here today.
And this can be an interesting one tonight, man. When you're talking about South Fayette, let's see how they decide to attack first versus Upper St. Clair defense.
833 yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 picks on the season for Welhorsky, who goes from the pistol. And they go to the flea flicker. First play from scrimmage. Have a receiver open. It's Specca who can't haul it in. A trick play for the first play of scrimmage. And Specca could not dial it in, incomplete.
I like the aggressive call to start it off. When you talk about a flea flicker play, understand that Upper St. Clair, extremely excited to be out here, falls for it, but unfortunately not able to make the connection. And now here they are with 2nd and 10. Upper St. Clair definitely dodged the bullet with that first play.
Nico D'Orazio was just a body getting in the way of the sight line of that pass. 2nd and 10. Welhorsky rolls on the run. He'll throw too tall, incomplete. Trying to find Bo Stover, the intended receiver. And there are so many receivers on both of these squads, Arthur, they just don't have one or two favorites. They have 6 or 7.
I mean, when you talk about the receivers, we don't even need to stop there. I just say they have a ton of playmakers on both sides because you have to talk about both of these running backs as well, and that's what makes tonight so interesting from an offensive perspective.
Stover is in the backfield on a 3rd and 10. Welhorsky rolls with some pressure. Surveys, nothing available. There's a flag down, and coming back to make the catch, Alex Deans for a first down. And there are flags back. And we will check with our officiating crew for the first time tonight. See if it negates the gain of 20 on 3rd down.
There are 2 flags on the field, both against the offset. Ineligible player downfield, offense, that penalty's declined. Holding, offense number 62, 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
A holding call on 3rd down after you convert it might be the worst. That's how coaches lose hair quickly.
No, you're absolutely right. We like to call them self-inflicted wounds. And versus a team like Upper St. Clair, you don't want to have too many of those.
3rd down, 20. After the hold, back to pass. Welhorsky steps up, fires over the middle and in and out of the hands. Might have been tipped. Tyson Wright was the intended receiver on the play, but could not haul it in a 3-and-out. Punt unit is out for South Fayette.
Yeah, Tyson Wright, one of those guys they're going to be dependent on both sides of the football. But this opening drive for South Fayette, their protection looked good, but unfortunately could not connect enough on these down-the-field passes, and now here they are punting from 4th and 20.
D'Orazio back to receive this punt. And Welhorsky is set up, of course, in pooch punt territory. Here's D'Orazio from the 47. And a good return. USC will have the football at the South Fayette 32-yard line when they get their first offensive opportunity when we come back on KDKA Plus.
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
At Hello Bistro, we keep it fresh. Fresh flavors, fresh choices, endless ways to build what you're craving. Because food should be as bold as you are. You deserve fresh. Only at Hello Bistro.
Great shot of the moon here tonight at Upper St. Clair. Not a full moon, but still anything can happen in the Atlantic 86 Conference. USC's first opportunity with the football. They flip it out to Josh Schneider, sophomore. He is the backup quarterback, so quarterback to quarterback on this, but they're really high on the sophomore. and a quick screen pass, and you're going to see a lot of that from USC tonight.
No, you're absolutely right. When you talk about USC, the playmakers that they have on the perimeter, Bryce Jones, Nico D'Orazio and company, those are the guys they want to get the ball in their hands and let them really show out tonight.
Helman will hand it off. It's Dante Corey. Corey to the 25. He's met there. Braden Plasko, the junior, on the tackle for South Fayette. Third down upcoming, and South Fayette love a bend but don't break moment here. Corey keeps first down and more inside the 15 for Dante Corey.
Something that we're going to learn early in this matchup. Who can control the trenches? That was one of the things that Upper St. Clair did extremely well versus Peters Township a week ago, and that really controlled the game for them. If South Fayette can't match that energy in terms of the trenches, they will be in for a little bit longer of a night tonight.
They go back to the screen pass, and it's another completed pass out to Josh Snyder, but it was snuffed out very quickly. Eden Wright sniffs it out.
I mean, that's the talented freshman right there. This kid obviously makes a ton of plays on offense, but watch him on defense as well. This is what he does, and this is why the South Fayette Lions are extremely excited to have him on the team this year.
Yeah, a freshman that you're going to want to keep an eye out. He's going to be a household name in a year or so. They go to the reverse, and D'Orazio is bottled up. South Fayette, again, it's Wright, followed by Tyson Wright. So the Wright brothers, not the ones about the airplane, though.
No, absolutely right. But when you talk about taking flight, this is what they do defensively. They make a ton of plays. And, I mean, if you're from the South Fayette community, you know they also have a sister that won a state championship with the Lady Lions as well by the name of Layla Wright. So, trust me, with this family, they have a ton of talent.
Arthur's coming with the knowledge tonight. I love it. Third down, back to pass. Helman, slant route, nobody's home. Fourth down, and South Fayette hands over good field position, but USC going to try to settle for a field goal as Jacobo Hechavarria, the senior, was offered to Robert Morris recently, but has been as impressive as you could get as a field goal kicker. .33-yard field goal is good. Jacobo Hechavarria puts the game's first points on the scoreboard. 3-0 USC. South Fayette will try to answer when we come back on KDK Plus.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life. For many years, UPMC has been at the forefront of technology and cutting-edge research.
Published more than any institution in the world with concussion, knee ACL injuries, to the shoulder, to the hip, to all the big joints. Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
Did you know you can make your home or building look brand new? For the whole project, or just spot repointing, make your home exterior brand new like when it was built. Call or visit Mariani-Richards.com.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, GBU Life, Giant Eagle, grocery shopping made easy, Some footage from my trip to Ireland last week to see the Steelers take on the Minnesota Vikings. And the NFL game, the first one in Dublin, a regular season game, and they laid it all out there. As you walk into one of the club levels, just a terrific green carpet laid out in Ireland this weekend. A fantastic event for everyone to attend, and one that I'll never forget.
No, I can only imagine. And looking at this camera work, I mean, wow. They sent the right guy over there. I tell you that, man.
Yeah, my camera work a lot better than my Irish jig, by the way.
Hey, look, man, it's the reason why you're on the varsity squad and you make those trips, okay? I'm going to stay over here with JV, okay? I'm going to work up to your level one day.
Here we go. A very cool trip. Congrats to all involved. The Steelers get a much-needed win. And it's not Steeler Nation anymore. It's Steeler Universe.
No, you're absolutely right. When you talk about those fans over in Ireland, nothing like seeing Steelers fans come together worldwide for that common thing, which we all love to see, which is a Steelers victory.
Well, we're looking to see gangrene here. South Fayette hits a big play. And going all the way is Specca for the South Fayette touchdown. Lions, it's Tyson Wright going the distance to give South Fayette the early lead here as Welhorsky dials it up to the great number 8.
Beautiful job right here when you talk about this offense. The play action pass, hitting them right in stride, makes the defender miss, and then from there, watch the speed. Outruns 1, 2, 3, multiple defenders. This is what you want to see if you're South Fayette. This is the way you start this game off from the green side.
80 yards, South Fayette. How's that for an answer? 7-3. South Fayette has the early advantage.
Yeah, so when you look at the way that, so when you're talking about this offense right here, and specifically the way that they find the tight end right here in terms of Aiden Wright, this is what you want to see. Patience, right? As the play starts here, you're going to see that quickly a blown coverage right here, right? And now from there, a missed tackle by the safety. And now just watch this guy go all the way to the house. You love to see this right here. Beautiful job by young Tyson Wright right there.
Boy, is he fun to watch. Steelan McBeam, he's back from Ireland as well. And a team wearing green. We come back, show some Ireland highlights, and a little luck of the Irish here for South Fayette.
Hey, this is how it's supposed to be on a night like tonight. And like I said, for South Fayette, it started with that defensive stop, right? We know Upper St. Clair had really good field position to start that drive off. Unfortunately, they're only able to get a field goal, and then South Fayette responds the way that they did. Now, let's see how Upper St. Clair responds, because this isn't a team that's just going to go away because one explosive play has happened.
Inside the 15 at the 13-yard line, Corey on the return for USC, and good yardage across the 35. USC offense goes to work, and that was kind of the question mark coming into this game. Is from an offensive perspective, we knew what both teams had, but the question is, can the defenses catch up and play up to the way that these high-powered offense are operating?
Yeah, and like you said, that's going to be the question as this game continues to progress. South Fayette, they do have some really good playmakers on that defensive side of the ball, but Upper St. Clair, we know what they're capable of.
Corey keeps it on the ground. Dante Corey spinning forward there. Senior on this USC squad, headed to Penn. A lot of smart young men on this USC squad.
No, you're absolutely right about that. And early on, Upper St. Clair is trying to establish some dominance with their offensive line group.
Talk about them after the second down and 6 play. And a nice push by those fellas up front to get Nico D'Orazio. USC first down and into South Fayette territory.
Yeah, that was a really impressive run right there following that left side of the line. You talk about big number 51 at left tackle, Kenny Davis, the left guard, 65, Grady Elias, and the center, number 70, Mason Geyer. Those are the guys that are going to be really trying to cave that side of the line in.
Yeah, Reese Prain out for the season with an ACL injury as Corey picks up 10 more on that carry, but arguably coaches were telling me he's the best one of the bunch, and they are without him. And finishing it, Chase Kazmarek, the right guard, and right tackle Ryan Robbins, 6'7", 280, the younger brother of Tyler Robbins, also plays basketball. Helman, little pump fake. Pressure comes. He escapes. Helman surveys, fires downfield, and in and out of the hands, incomplete. Nearly a terrific catch for Logan Lipinski. The senior could not hang on to it.
Well, it looks like Ethan Helman is down. Number 15 for South Fayette, Colton Clair delivered a nice physical hit at the end of this throw right here. And good job down the grass by the Lions defenders, forcing the incompletion. We talk about that freshman once again, Aiden Wright, and number 14, Bryce Watkins on the coverage.
Yeah, Helman comes off, so that means Josh Snyder, the sophomore, 6'1", he's been tabbed as the future of USC football. They want him in so badly, they find places to put him, and now he's in at quarterback as Ethan Helman, leading quarterback of the WPIL, is on the sidelines, and he takes it himself. And nicely done there. Josh Snyder picks his way to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, when you talk about Josh Snyder, obviously they like him for the future. But this season, they've done a lot more of this right here. QB runs with him, whereas with Ethan Helman, that's typically where you're getting more of your drop-back passing style plays out of the offense. So it'll be interesting to see the longer Josh stays in, if they stay true to that identity.
He will stay in for now. 3rd down and 4. Snyder calls his own number again on 3rd down. He keeps his balance and finds a way to the sticks. 1st down, Panthers. Josh Snyder, 2 straight running plays out of the quarterback position, and he jogs off. He has great bloodlines, Arthur. His uncle, Cullen Hawkins, started at Virginia Tech in the 1999 National Championship game.
Oh, wow, you talk about a crazy game. That was a fun one to watch as well, being a kid from Virginia. So you only can imagine.
1st and 10. Corey follows blockers inside the 20 as Helman has returned. And we get a timeout by the officials. And they whistle it back in for play. Interesting to see what that was all about.
I think Corey's helmet came off, actually.
2nd down and 5 at the 20. Helman pressured, got to get it away. He dumps it off quickly to Banbury, and Banbury stretches for the goal line, and they will roll him short. 19 yards on the run. And another official timeout as there is an injured South Fayette Lion down. As we take a look at that run by Banbury on the UPMC Sports Medicine Instant Replay. Good call by the officials. Looks like
no, without a doubt. I was about to say, definitely a good call, but I also like the call from Upper St. Clair right there. Understanding that, hey, you're going to have this Lions defense feeling amped up, ready to create some pressure. So instead of trying to combat that, no, you use it against them. The screen play obviously allows that Lions rush to get in the backfield, and then you drop it off right there, almost for a touchdown, but at least put some right on the goal line, 2 yards away.
We'll take a break as they tend to the injured Lion. We'll be back here.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day, because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions, to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
You know, when Gary's call came in, just by the sound of the call, you knew that this was a bad injury.
When I saw Gary in the hospital room, they were afraid that his injuries were so severe that the lower leg wouldn't be salvageable. It was 50-50 as to whether Gary was going to keep the lower limb.
My name's Gary. When I needed help the most, Edgar Snyder was there for me. I wouldn't have wanted no one else. I'm glad they were my team, straight up.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me! A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone!
JRM Video Productions, winners of a regional Emmy Award for live sporting event.
South Fayette with a 7-3 lead, but the Panthers knocking on the door. First and goal. Turn around to Corey. Dante Corey is into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Corey's 5th touchdown of the season gives USC back the lead from 2 away.
And that's the way that you want to see a response if you're an Upper St. Clair fan. Following the score, the explosive play given up by the Lions on offense, you come back with a methodical drive where you show that you have physicality, running behind the big men, Chase Kasmerick, and obviously the 6'7" Ryan Robbins for the touchdown. Nice response right here by Upper St. Clair to take the lead back.
Jacobo Hechavarria puts in the PAT, and USC right back 10-7, and back and forth we go, Arthur, here this first quarter with still 5 minutes to go in it, has had a little bit of everything.
I mean, when you look at both of these teams this season, they've both been able to score at will. We talked about South Fayette just a week ago, scoring over 40 points, 49-13 victory versus Baldwin. We obviously know with Upper St. Clair, it's nothing for them to go over 40 points. What they did earlier in the season to Cannon Mac, winning 48-0. So when you talk about these offenses tonight, this is what they're accustomed to doing, and it's going to be up to one of these defenses to make the important stop later in this game.
Yeah, we're talking about both of these teams 5-1 coming into tonight. USC, first loss of the season last week, 24-20 loss to Peters Township. South Fayette's only blemish this year, a 37-28 loss at Cannon-McMillan. 6A school. And this one will go into the end zone for a touchback. And speaking of 6A, South Fayette is the smallest 5A school. They are 4 kids away from being 4A.
Wow. I mean, when you put it in perspective like that, you're like 4 kids away? Is like that small of a number? Wow. Well, that's a part of it, man. But, hey, you know, on a night like tonight, all of that goes out the window. We don't look, or they don't look specifically for excuses. You just show up on the game and you play and hope that your best is better than whoever you're going against on that night.
They go jet motion as Aiden Wright was flipped the ball by Welhorsky. But great containment by the USC defense as Durazio forces him out. They will say a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, really good pursuit by the Upper St. Clair defense. When you talk about this Lions offense, specifically when you see Aiden Wright with the ball, he's their explosive guy, but he also has that speed to get to the perimeter. So setting edges, right? And you see that right there by Nico Durazio. That's going to be an important part to stopping this South Fayette Lions rushing attack.
Timeout. South Fayette, they're first.
South Fayette burns their first time out here on a 2nd down and 11. And we'll check downstairs with Allie Cohen.
Hey guys, the South Fayette coaching staff under Marty Spieler all praising him with being one of the best teachers of the game they've been around. Offensive coordinator Alex Dennison, who played for Spieler at Buffalo, he was his position coach, said he used to say, "Cloudy mind, slow feet." He wants his players not to think when they're out there. He wants them to be prepared. That's why they spend a ton of time in the classroom. They're able to do it too because most of the staff does not teach at South Fayette, so the players have a downtime from 2 to 4 before practice starts, and a bunch of that time is spent in the classroom, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Allie. Spieler in his second season as head coach, third at South Fayette, was the quarterback's coach the last year. Joe Rossi was the head coach. Welhorsky designed run play to him, and he lowers his shoulder, and he'll carry a defender with him. A free ride for a first down.
And
14.
That was an impressive run right there by Drew Welhorsky on the QB keeper. We obviously talked about how we know South Fayette likes to go to the perimeter, but when you talk about attacking a team downhill, this is where you can create some of those explosive runs. And if you don't account for the quarterback, Drew will do this all night.
Well, Welhorsky on a first down at 10 from the 33. They flip the formation. Strong side left, and it's a run that way, and now it's a reverse. They go to the weak side with Specca, and Specca gets the corner, bounces off one, has a first down and more out at the 49-yard line, bouncing off of would-be tacklers, and Specca has 16 on the gain, another South Fayette first down.
Going into the bag of trickeration, we saw the flea flicker earlier. Now we get the reverse, and really good job by Daniel Specca, making the defender miss and ultimately picking up the explosive play to potentially get them across midfield.
First down at 10 from the 46 one more time. Trips lower part of your screen, and they'll quickly pass this one completed. Near side, it was Dylan Mons. The junior hauls in his first pass of the night.
And good job by by South Fayette right here, mixing it up. Don't want to get too married to one concept in terms of some of these lateral outside runs. Good to see a nice timing pass right there in rhythm. Get the ball out your hands for a nice pickup.
And it's so unpredictable if you're able to do that. Second down and 4 from the 48. Keep up with this as the Lions go back to the ground game, and Welhorsky pushing the Powell forward. It will be third down coming up. Finishing the spot on Spieler, had stops in college. Allie mentioned Buffalo, Florida A&M, and Missouri State. He was also the offensive coordinator at Mount Lebanon under Coach Bob Palco. They won the state championship that year. But one of his first stops was as a grad assistant at Cincinnati when future NFL stars Jason and Travis Kelce were Bearcats. And I know all the Swifties just went crazy as the pile is pushed forward. You love it when offensive lineman helmets are flying off. You know things are happening down there. There's a flag also down as well.
Hey, helmets coming off, flags flying in the air. Sounds like a good Friday night of football.
As they sort out the penalty, Spieler was saying that he was in the coaching meeting making this decision that Travis Kelce was
Rolling
listed
on the field that the runner's forward progress was stopped prior to the fumble. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 11, 15-yard penalty.
A double whammy there for USC. Play stands, and oh, by the way, here's an extra 15 and another look.
Physical running right here. When you talk about the right side of that offensive line, when you talk about having to get just 2 yards, this is what you want to see if you're South Fayette. Can you control the line of scrimmage? Can you win the grass? But more importantly, can you also be smart? Because we know emotions are going to be very high on a night like tonight.
South Fayette from the 27 of USC. Keeping as Welhorsky. Welhorsky finds a seam and finds the end zone. Touchdown, South Fayette.
When we talk about how to attack this Upper St. Clair defense, we said the lateral runs have been working, but especially on this drive, we've seen multiple runs by Drew Welhorsky where he's been able to gash this defense. And right here, an explosive run for a touchdown. This is what you need to see if you're a Lions fan. But right here, the tough running, the speed, this is why this kid is one of the top players when you talk about his dual threat ability. And why he's one of those best lacrosse players as well, and he'll be taking those talents to Robert Morris University next year.
27 yards on the rush for Welhorsky. The extra point is through the poles. Luke Gillen doing those duties. We want to take another look at this, Moats.
So when you talk about Drew right here, you obviously see him right there in the quarterback position. But defensively, not a lot of backup behind these linebackers. So as the play starts right here, all it takes is one player being out of his gap. And as you see with the rotation, a big hole in the middle of the field, and now you get a chance to see this speed, and this is what makes this kid so special, that dual threat ability right there. But it starts with being fundamentally sound and gap aligned, and unfortunately for Upper St. Clair, as that motion started, it threw those guys off and gave Drew the ability to go ahead and put points on the board.
Yeah, those guys up front, the sophomore Evan Early, center Caden McShane, who's a junior, Brady Onda, who's a senior at left guard, Aiden Lance, a sophomore, and Mason Green, a junior. That means that offensive line, just one senior on it.
And that's the exciting part if you're a South Fayette fan, because we know if you can protect, they have some of the talented players that can make plays against this Upper St. Clair team.
USC on the return here. It's a big return for Snyder. Finally shoved out into South Fayette territory. 53 yards on the return for the Panthers.
This is beautiful right here. All three phases of the game. Who can make a play? Josh Snyder waiting on a block to set up. Then from there, the acceleration. This is why you have him back there. Big field flipping return. And now you got the Upper St. Clair Panthers offense starting in positive field position.
Finishing that thought on Spieler. In the room, Jason and Travis Kelsey. Travis was listed as a quarterback. They wanted to switch him to tight end. It worked out pretty well for them.
I mean, when you think about Travis specifically, I look at him more of the life of a show boy, but when you talk about the way that he could play, I mean, I get the versatility, so I don't hate the decision making.
Well done, my friend. Helman going to take off and run with it. Picks up 3 on that first down scramble. We saw Upper St. Clair last year against Peters Township. They won their program's 500th game. They now have 510 wins as a program. South Fayette has 521. They also have 200 more losses. South Fayette is 521 and 401, and USC is even at 200 losses as Dante Corey picks his way inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 11 yards on the scramble there by Corey.
And once again, Upper St. Clair not getting away from what they feel confident in, running the football. You watch Big 75, Chase Kismerick right there and company, clearing out the way for Dante Corey to have that explosive run, and they're coming right back to it.
Yeah, they flip it to Bryce Jones, and Jones gets leveled at the 21-yard line, and who's laying the lick? I think Welhorsky just delivered it, and that's a quarterback that also is not afraid of contact.
He's a quarterback, but he's a lacrosse player by passion, and you saw that physicality right there, but really explosive, nice run by Bryce Jones, a player that this Upper St. Clair team feels really confident in.
14-10. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. That saw 3 lead changes. 14-10, South Fayette leads Upper St. Clair after 12. Come back for 12 more on the Steelers High School Showcase, presented by Giant Eagle with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette on KDKA+.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
a fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons,
primary care sports medicine physicians,
board-certified physical therapists,
a comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion,
nutrition,
athletic training,
sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
Welcome back to Panther Stadium. South Fayette leads Upper St. Clair 14-10. About to start the second quarter. I am here with Steelers defensive lineman rookie Y.A. Black. You went to high school in Minnesota, played at Marshall. You won a couple of awards, hold a couple of school records. What would you say, you've been a rookie and freshman at many levels, what advice do you have for young high school kids coming in and trying to make an impact?
Just stay in the weight room and just stay true to yourself. Being around the game, you get to learn a lot from teammates and the people around and the people that coach you. So as long as you're listening and stay patient, you'll be in good hands.
You made a big impression early on at camp this season. What's been the biggest lesson you've learned as a pro so far this year?
Just adding on to it's okay to make mistakes. You get to college and get through your freshman year and you make more mistakes and then they kind of go away, and now I'm back to the lower level of it. So just making mistakes, and it's okay to do that.
You played at Iowa. You played for some big-time coaches. What can you say is the difference between coaches at each level that you've seen?
Being honest with you, there's not much of a difference. I had a great high school coach, and then going to Iowa had great coaches there, and now I'm here in Pittsburgh, and not much has changed. You hear the same words, all about the culture and the standard. And
Upper St. Clair strikes. Panthers strike quickly. Aiden Wright. Banbury gets into the end zone as Helman delivers to Banbury for the touchdown of 21 yards. Thanks to Mr. Black, but you have a football game happening, and neither offense is waiting for anybody.
I like how we were both in here trying to be so respectful, so formal. It's like, man, this is an action. We got a trick play happening for a touchdown, and more excitement, but in a negative space for Upper St. Clair with the extra point going off of the upright for a miss. Maybe that comes back to haunt them later on tonight.
Yeah, Jacobo Hechevarria, one of the best in the WPIL, does not happen often. Another look at it.
I mean, it starts with 6 in the backfield, though. You see the trickeration on the flea flicker reverse, and then from there, beautiful job making that catch.
Boy.
And he survived the ground, according to the referee, and that's all that matters on a night like tonight, what the referee says. So, good play, nice design, and more importantly, nice execution for Upper St. Clair. Now, let's see if the Lions can return the favor and respond, because Upper St. Clair has been doing a really good job of that tonight when you think about how the Lions have come out with multiple explosive touchdowns.
Yeah, it's our fourth lead change of the ball game. 4 plays and 42 yards. And our Kelly Automotive drive summary. 1:39 off the clock.
Post-Gazette and 80 right back to receive Echevarria's kick.
Echevarria to kick. Puts this one out of the back of the end zone. 2-point game, USC in front. And as I said, 4 plays, 42 yards, 139. Kelly Automotive drive recap. Puts South Fayette right back out there. And, I mean, the quick strike ability, Arthur, of both of these offenses, sometimes it doesn't go what it says on paper. It is tonight.
No, you're absolutely right. When you look at both of these teams, we said offensively, they could score on anybody. And to see how it's ultimately playing out tonight, once again, we say it's going to come down to one of these defenses stepping up and making a play.
On the offense.
A little overzealous on the Lions sideline is what it sounds like.
Is it Steely McBeam? Is he getting the warning? Welhorsky on first down. Hands it off, and it is stacked up. Not much available. South Fayette's Mo Stover trying to find some open room.
And that's tough when you're running at big number 78, Ryan Robbins, the 6'7", 280-pound junior. You're going to probably need to put 2 guys on him if you want to run at him like that, just because of what this kid is capable of.
Yep. Dad's the gym teacher here at USC, also the offensive line coach. Played at Pitt. Ball loose there, and I think Welhorsky's going to be rolled down. And he will. It's going to lose a couple here, but Robbins, good bloodlines. Mentioned dad played at Pitt. Mom played hoops at Virginia Tech.
Wow. Let's go. I mean, it's no surprise that this kid is as talented as he is. Then when you talk about both sides of the family bringing in certain things for him.
No, when mom and dad both played D1 ball.
I mean, come on, you hit the gene lottery right there.
And he's quite the hooper for Danny Holzer's Upper St. Clair Panthers. Defending WPIL champs. Back to pass. Welhorsky, plenty of time. Dials it in and threads the needle for a first down. How about LeVisser on the reception?
And that was a nice job by Drew right there. Understanding that he had time. Offensive line doing a really good job providing protection. Drew scans the field, waits for him to get into that second window, and then delivers a strike right on the numbers of Jacob LeVisser. And that's what you want to see for a nice first down.
14 yards on the pass and catch. 1st and 10 from the 31. Welhorsky conducting traffic. Pistol formation. And then make that a shotgun as they motion the tailback. As Welhorsky's just going to let it fly over everybody, incomplete. Closest South Fayette Lion was Specca.
Yeah, and it looked like a little bit of miscommunication between the two. Obviously, after the play, you see Drew kind of motion in which way he wanted him to go. One of those things, but at this stage and at this critical of a game, you don't want to see too much of that. You want to make sure everybody's on the same page on a night like tonight.
Second down and 10 from the 31. Back into the belly of Stover. Stover doesn't have much, maybe a yard. For Upper St. Clair, Randy Yen. Senior makes the tackle.
And now let's see what South Fayette wants to do in terms of this 3rd and long approach. We know that they have had a good time throwing the football down the field, but we also know that they are not afraid to run the ball and test the perimeters.
Third down for the Lions, who trail by 2 here in the second quarter of our Steelers showcase. Welhorsky back to pass, flips it out. Trying to get open space in the flat. And not much available for Stover. Quickly wrapped up. DeRazio comes over along with Yen.
And that was a good job by Upper St. Clair on the perimeter of their defense. Randy Yen, Nico DeRazio and company setting nice edges. And when you watch Randy Yen use his length to ultimately separate and then get off the block to make that tackle, that's what you want to see.
4th down. Welhorsky known to punt. They are set up in the offensive formation for now. On 4th and 8, and they clear out the backfield. Stover, and then Welhorsky retreats back, and he'll do the punting duties. And it's a good one. Over the head of DeRazio, and takes a South Fayette roll inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Nice punt by Drew Welhorsky. Touched down at the 18. It's a 49-yard punt. 16-14, USC. The lead and the ball when we come back on KDK Plus.
I think this is a model institution. You are a point of pride here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You understand that going to college is also about what you do after college and making sure you are arming your students with the opportunity to have the skills they need to go out and chart their own path to success in their futures.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Mazda. We have a great opportunity for you. 2025 Mazda CX-30 lease. Only $29.99 down for as low as $289 a month. We have 129 new Mazdas in stock for immediate delivery. What a great selection. Come on up, drive one home today.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
College isn't for everyone, but from pay to training to retirement, Pennsylvania Laborers Union members live better. PA Laborers Union offers a great wage potential of $42 per hour and terrific health benefits. Imagine having 0 student loans while receiving state-of-the-art construction training. Join the team and get mentorship and guidance from experienced members. Go now to laborparecruit.com for more information.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons,
primary care sports medicine physicians,
board-certified physical therapists,
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion,
nutrition,
athletic training,
sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. We deliver that right to you.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Herc Rentals, Kelly Automotive, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. We flip the calendar to October, first Friday night in October, and that means Breast Cancer Awareness Month is upon us. Breast Cancer Awareness Night for the South Fayette student section. That's looking great. Good attendance tonight. They were very excited to know that the Steelers Showcase was coming to town. They were tweeting up a storm this week.
Always love to see the excitement from the students whenever they find out this is the game we're coming to. And more importantly, whenever you see these students also supporting their awesome cause in terms of breast cancer awareness, you love to see that as well.
Corey gets bogged down, and then South Fayette.
They're second.
You heard him. Two of the best teams in 5A going at it here tonight. And 5-1 South Fayette, 5-1 Upper St. Clair.
Absolutely loaded 5A conference when you talk about how many teams, not just in here, but 5-1, undefeated.
Take a look at the Post-Gazette 5A power rankings right on cue. Pine Ridgeland at the top of it. Their only loss to Pittsburgh Central Catholic at 6A. Peters still undefeated. Woody High 4-2, and you see USC at 5-1. Penn Trafford also at 5-1. I think South Fayette has an argument to be in the conversation, but for now, on the outside looking in.
Well, this is the beauty of games like tonight. You get a chance to find out who you are. We understand who Upper St. Clair is just based on the history of what they did a year ago. We know South Fayette, especially in the head-to-head matchup, did not have the success that they would have desired. So if you are one of these top 5 teams in your conference, let's find out by beating one of those teams tonight.
Ethan Helman has some problems in the backfield, bottled up. It's Tyler Ring putting on a show in the backfield. It's third down all the way back at the 14-yard line.
Now, you know I'm usually not biased, but whenever I see somebody wearing the number 55, I smile a little bit more. And when you see a guy like that on defense with the big neck roll making the play, nice job by that Lions defense.
Flag down.
Encroachment. Defense number 5. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Makes it a little more manageable. Now 3rd and 9.
And smart by Ethan Helman to ultimately use the cadence as a weapon to gain some of that yardage back that they just lost in the previous play.
Empty set for Helman. On 3rd down, Helman steps up. He's going to cook it over the middle of the field. It's caught. Bryce Jones. Bryce Jones for the touchdown. 81 yards Touchdown, Panthers!
Bryce Jones, the senior. This is what you love to see if you're an Upper St. Clair guy. Bryce has obviously been doing this all season long. When you talk about his ability to take the top off the defense, whenever you give Ethan Helman time, this is what you get. A beautiful throw, hits him right in stride, beating the freshman on coverage, and then from there outrunning the rest of the defense for the touchdown. And nice job by Upper St. Clair to now expand on that lead that they just had.
Extra point. Jacobo Hechavarria, 23-14. The Panthers and Ethan Helman have the advantage by 9 here on the showcase.
Have a nice day, family. What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair? Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
No! Annoying! Never! I'm the king of
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Welcome to La Roche University, where experience isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
At La Roche, our students thrive by putting their ideas into action.
So we came in today just kind of getting a general idea of valuing a model and how it is done in actual real-life time.
I think what they're doing in La Roche with the applied learning has a lot of value for the students. They're able to see the real-world numbers come to life, and that has a lot of impact for them.
La Roche University, engaging minds, embracing the world.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine, and Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work, to bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Shell, Panera Bread, Loway Enterprises, promotional products and apparel. Kelly Automotive Drive recap, 3 plays, 82 yards, 124 off the clock. It helps when you have a 81-yard pass play on it, huh?
Explosive plays. They always matter a lot more than execution.
And Hechavarria puts that one into the end zone. Let's take another look at this. Another big play touchdown, Arthur.
And it starts with this. When you talk about 3 down D linemen rushing against this offense, you can't do that because what happens is this. As you play this play, you see too much time. When Ethan has enough ability to step up in this pocket and deliver a clean throw, this is what he's capable of. And then from there, Bryce Jones doing the rest, outrunning the defense. And this is what he does routinely in terms of Bryce Jones. And this is what that Upper St. Clair offense wants to dial back up later in this game.
1st and 10. And South Fayette bogged down. Tyson Wright had nowhere to go. I beg your pardon, that was Aiden Wright. Had nowhere to go. And he's going to lose 3 yards.
Yeah, when you talk about the Upper St. Clair defense, we said, man, they got to set hard edges in order to maintain this Lions offense that likes to attack the perimeters. And right there you see Nico D'Orazio once again showing that he can make plays on that perimeter and causing a nice tackle for loss. And now the Lions are backed up 2nd and 14.
Second down, 14 it is. Keeping as Welhorsky, and He only picks his way for a yard. It's 3rd down now. And a game that saw 5 lead changes in this first half. And now USC, 2-score ball game, Arthur, and the clock winding towards halftime. South Fayette needs to, at the very least, get the ball past the sticks and run out the rest of this clock, not turn the ball back over to allow USC another chance to score.
You're absolutely right. These past 2 drives defensively, Upper St. Clair has found a way to stymie this Lions offense and really limit the explosive play nature that they have been showing early on in the game.
3rd down, 13. Welhorsky back to pass. They got a slant pattern, but he overshot his intended receiver, Daniel Specca. Incomplete. 4th down. And a 3 and out here for South Fayette.
And for Upper St. Clair, this is what you wanted. You wanted to see a team that's backed up, find a way to get 3 and out, because now you're looking at getting this ball right around midfield or even potentially in positive territory with plenty of time to expand this lead prior to halftime.
See if Upper St. Clair brings any pressure on Welhorsky to punt this ball away. Doesn't have a whole lot of space when he does it. They do not. And back to grab this at the 39 is DeRazio. And DeRazio gets a block. And DeRazio gets the corner and knocked out of bounds at the 30. Big opportunity here for the Panthers. 5 minutes exactly. And how about better than midfield, Arthur, is it's a 31-yard punt return.
Excellent return by Nico DeRazio, the Brown commit. When you talk about offense, defense, and special teams working together, complementary football is what we call it at the professional level. Defense gets the stop to keep them backed up. Nico right here on the punt return, making a defender miss. Then from there gets a nice block by his cavalry. And from there, explosive field flipping return has the Upper St. Clair offense already in scoring position. This is what you want if you're Coach Junko on a night like tonight.
DeRazio was hurt earlier this season with a knee injury. Looks fine now. Also a baseball player at USC. Here's Corey. Gets the edge. Corey, a 1st down and inside the 15-yard line. Panthers getting the push right now.
And you're starting to feel the Upper St. Clair team wear on that Lions unit right now defensively. The guys up front for Upper St. Clair are really winning in the trenches, and that's been a little bit of the deciding factor in this second quarter.
15 yards on the run there. Here's Corey one more time. This time only 2. Runs into that heart of the South Fayette defense. Stiley on the tackle. 2nd down, 8 from the 13. Helman hands it off. And bouncing it to this near side is Panthers Banbury, John Banbury, the junior, to the 6-yard line. Or 11-yard line, I beg your pardon.
And now let's see how aggressive Upper St. Clair is right here. You're in scoring position, but you do have a 3rd and backed up, and you don't want to do anything negative, but you still don't want to play too conservative either.
Helman pump fakes, and he goes down. He is dropped. They will officially roll it back at the 12, so I think about a yard loss as Hechavarria is walking out to attempt a field goal. And this is a win for South Fayette to not allow 6 here.
I mean, absolutely. When you think about that explosive punt return and the drive starting where it did, South Fayette defensively to be able to hold them to a field goal is absolutely a win. And more importantly, it keeps them in striking distance as this game continues to progress.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a very long drive, just about 2 minutes. It's going to take off the clock, coming up on the 3-minute mark. And a timeout right at the 3.
Timeout, Upper St. Clair. They're first.
So USC takes that timeout. And that's more just to make sure all of the time was taken off the clock, because South Fayette only has 1 timeout remaining here in this first half of play. Coming up at halftime, it's the Shell Halftime Report. Allie Cohen and Damon McDermott break down this game and, of course, so much more on the Shell Halftime Show. Mr. Black getting a salute from the USC student section.
That's a fan favorite, a man of the people. Look at the big man work the crowd. Now, on this field goal, though, a little bit interesting. Remember, earlier in the game, we saw Jacobo Echeverria already miss an extra point. Let's see if that's still lingering in his head or if he's able to go ahead and capitalize on this field goal attempt.
An 28-yard field goal. That had plenty of distance. And the accuracy works as well. And USC takes a 26-14 advantage.
Yeah, the senior absolutely has a big leg, and he's been putting it on display on every kickoff that's been going out the end zone, and then obviously on that field goal right there. But once again, for South Fayette, defensively, that's a win. That's what you want to see. And if you think about it, earlier in the game when Upper St. Clair got their momentum, it started in a similar fashion. Them stopping South Fayette and making them force a punt, and then from there, Upper St. Clair being able to respond. So let's see if South Fayette offensively can have a little bit similar luck tonight.
Drew Welhorsky, 10 attempts for 95 yards. Done well tonight offensively, and they're going to need him because he's getting back out there on offense.
And when we just focused on the passing perspective, not as impressive, but when you throw in what he's done with his legs tonight, having that rushing touchdown, that's definitely something else that makes him a little bit more exciting to see. And if you're a Lions fan, somebody that you're going to be dependent upon to ultimately lead the charge for this comeback.
And maybe the good news is, and both teams are capable of this, if you don't need a whole lot of time on the clock to strike. They've both proven that tonight.
Clearly. I mean, and for me and you, one of the most exciting games we've had a chance to call in terms of some of this back and forth scoring. So I'm excited to see that. But for South Fayette, let's see how they respond. Because for Upper St. Clair, they're proving who they are. They're proving that they're a team that can take a punch and continue to give a punch back. South Fayette, they've gotten punched twice now. Let's see if they can respond.
See what Marty Spieler and the South Fayette offense, they went 3 and out on their last possession. And they shovel it off. That was dangerous in traffic. Stover got it and got popped. Doing the popping is Will Stoll, the sophomore, younger bro of Nate Stoll, who won the Freilich Award last year. And just a sophomore, he's going to be fun here for the Panthers for a while.
Absolutely, and you heard me say it for the South Fayette guy, and of course I feel the exact same way about Will Stoll. He wears the 5-5, and that's a number that I hold close to my heart, but more importantly, really good job by him on first down, creating a negative play, and now you got that Lions offense backed up in a position that they really don't want to make a habit of tonight.
2nd and 12 from the 18. Trips top of your screen. It's Welhorsky going to the screen pass, and man, there was traffic there. It goes incomplete. Alex Deans was the intended receiver, but Deans, I think, had his eyes taken off of it because one of the Panthers almost jumped the route there.
Yeah, absolutely. When you talk about a near miss, looked like that Panthers defender had a nice read and jump on the play, but ultimately not able to make the interception right there. But good job by the Panthers defensively, and now 3rd and long, you're looking at potentially another 3 and out. Will be the 3rd consecutive one for this Lions offense, something that they definitely don't want to do when you're looking at Upper St. Clair and the momentum that they've had in this quarter.
That was Beck Shields that got in the passing lane, also a great lacrosse player at USC. Here's Welhorsky dialing it up in the middle. It's intercepted, picked off by the Panthers. It's DeRazio. DeRazio down to the 12. First down, Panthers.
And that's a tough decision to make, throwing that ball into double coverage like that. Nico DeRazio, a true playmaker. We obviously know offensively what he can do, but defensively right here in the middle of the field at the safety position, ultimately reading the quarterback's eyes, makes a nice jump on the play, interception, and then you love to see the playmaking on the other side. Once you get the ball, turn defense into offense, field flipping play, takes a nice shot by Drew Welhorsky at the end of it, but now for this Panthers defense, that's how you respond. And now let's see if the offense can go ahead and get them over that 30 mark prior to halftime.
Yeah, 26-14, and now this game gets turned on its head if the Panthers punch in a score here. Here's Helman throwing and overcooking it incomplete, intended for Anthony Razzo. And it will be second down and 10, a minute 51, so plenty of time. And the Panthers have 2 of their 3 timeouts still at their disposal.
Yeah, if you're the Panthers, you're not in a rush, but you definitely want to get points. And more importantly, a touchdown you feel like really makes this game feel blown out. But if you're the Lions defensively, holding them to 3 once again would be a major accomplishment.
Second down, it's Helman. Helman keeps. Helman down inside the 5 to the 4. Took a lick on that. Both of these quarterbacks just so tough. Helman struggled with an illness much of the week, didn't practice half of the week. Not showing any signs of slowing down here.
No, you're absolutely right. Ethan Helman is definitely a tough guy. Takes a shot from the Minnesota commit, Anthony Charles, right there, but holds onto the ball and now has him in a 3rd and short opportunity.
3rd down and churning the legs shy of the marker. You see there that yellow line on your screen. Not able to get it for Dante Corey. So it will bring up 4th down as we take another look.
Yeah, good job by that Lions defensive line being stout versus that run. And right there, Tyler Ring, number 55, ultimately making the tackle and putting the Upper St. Clair offense in a 4th down situation.
4th down it is, and now
timeout, Upper St. Clair.
Decision time for Mike Junko.
How aggressive are you feeling on a night like tonight?
It's one of those things. You have the field goal kicker. You settled for the 3 the last time. Now on 4th down and 2. What do you decide as Junko in his 7th season at USC taking over for the legend, WPIL all-time wins leader, and Jim Render.
And when you think about both of these coaches, both replacing guys that had long tenures and a lot of success at both of their respective programs. We obviously know when you're talking about Jim Render, 40-plus seasons, 40 seasons, and a ton of success. And then obviously on the South Fayette side, when you look at Coach Rossi as well, the tenure for both of these guys. But to see coaches like Coach Junko, like Coach Spiller on that one, coming in here and ultimately making their mark. This is what you want to see for both of these teams as they continue their evolution of this program.
It's great to see the men at the top of these programs. It's not surprising when you talk to them and you see the people that are around them. It's not surprising that they're successful. 4th down, they'll go for it. Will the Panthers? Helman from under center, and man, movement on both sides. Who done it first?
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And here comes Jacobo Hechavarria.
A little bit of a self-inflicted wound right there by Upper St. Clair. I like how they tried to ultimately work the cadence again, but this time the self-inflicted element forces them to kick a field goal.
A 26-yard field goal is up and good through the poles. Jacobo adds another 3, and it's 29-14. USC leads South Fayette, and if South Fayette can find a way to mount a comeback, what you're going to circle is these opportunities that USC 3 times now inside the red zone can't come up with 6, had to settle for 3, and if those 3s were 6s, this game is already out of hand.
You're absolutely right, and I think that that's one of the things, if you're Upper St. Clair, you're feeling confident in your ability to move the football, whether it's in special teams where we saw some explosive plays, defensively creating the interception, offensively they move the ball. But we know for South Fayette, they feel confident because their red zone defense has really impressed on a night like tonight. But we also know that Upper St. Clair will be getting that ball coming out of the half, and that's the part for Upper St. Clair where they don't mind necessarily taking that field goal because they feel like they're going to still be able to get points when they come out of half.
Get points, I think, is what the numbers, the stats would tell you. That's returnable for the first time tonight for South Fayette. And chased out, pushed out over the 20 there for South Fayette's Aiden Wright. And now the Lions, last few possessions, USC's figured it out. And it's really been South Fayette testing deep that they've been successful as we take a great look. Aerial shots tonight brought to you by our friends at GBU Life. Protect what matters now.
Yeah, when you talk about the passing attack, Drew Welhorsky, when he's had time, he's been able to hit these receivers. Now, have they been able to connect on all of them in terms of the execution, completing the catch? That's where the inconsistency has bit them a little bit. But for South Fayette, they do feel confident in their ability to protect on passing plays.
South Fayette has seen enough. And Upper St. Clair will go into the locker room. 29-14. USC with the advantage over South Fayette here at the break.
And I do feel if they don't throw an interception on that previous drive, they probably were more aggressive in that scenario right there. But when you just turned it over and it puts you in position for them to score points,
you can't do it again.
You can't make that mistake again.
All right, let's go downstairs to Allie Cohen.
Hey guys, here with Upper St. Clair head coach Mike Junko. Sorry, hello. Low earpiece function. So you guys able to take advantage of every possession. You talked a lot about urgency at practice. What do you think of your guys' urgency so far tonight?
I think it's good. A little frustrated. Too many field goals. We've got to finish drives offensively. I think defensively, we had to sort some things out early. They did a nice job, and so I think we've settled in there a little bit. So looking forward to playing better defense second half and finishing drives as well in the second half.
There's so much talent on the field that we talked about. You look at a guy like John Vanbury. He's able to fill up the stats sheet in this first half. How are you able to utilize him in this different capacity this week?
He's a special kid, and we've been trying to get him going offensively and getting him some opportunities. And this is the type of game they're playing coverage, so they're giving us an opportunity to run the ball. So he factors into the second half, that's for sure.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks to Coach Mike Junko. Goes into the locker room with his Panthers up 29-14 over South Fayette. On the back half of this break, it's the Shell Halftime Show. Allie Cohen joined by Damon McDermott to break it all down. That's all to come and more. You're watching live coverage of the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Stick around. Our coverage continues on KDKA Plus after this.
At Loewe, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Loewe apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Loewe to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Relive your favorite moments at the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor Museum.
They really wore that back then, Grandpa?
Yeah, they really did.
Playing back then was tough, believe me.
Now this is the best era. Nobody could beat that dynasty.
I couldn't agree more. Those teams were unstoppable.
Now, I don't know about that, but the team was really good in the 90s.
Come on, you couldn't catch those teams of the 2000s. They went the distance, literally.
That's what I'm talking about! Yes!
The 70s are definitely the best.
Hey, the 2000s, hands down.
Whoa, guys, stop fighting. I think every era was pretty sweet.
You said it, kid. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I hope to see you back here soon.
Wait, your T?
Seems like a nice spot.
Ali Cohn alongside Damon McDermott. Upper St. Clair has the 29-14 lead over South Fayette. This was a close one early on, but Upper St. Clair able to take advantage of most possessions. You know, you heard Coach Mike Junko saying before half that he's frustrated because they've got to finish drives. So what did you see this first half?
I mean, they scored every drive,
right,
so
right.
That's a big plus. But yes, they do got to finish a couple in the red zone. That's what costed them last week in the red zone. But you got to be super excited how they created a turnover. We talked about Nico D'Orazio, but he's actually playing better on defense today. And then on offense, I mean, everybody's getting involved. We talked about Banbury and a couple others, but it's impressive. They have so much talent. You can spread the ball around, and every single drive they've got points. So as coach, I know you got to really want the red zone points, but you got to be happy you scored every single drive.
You almost can't keep up with it because we think the players that we're going to focus on are the players we're going to focus on, and then someone else shows up. South Fayette, what do they have to do here to get some momentum back this second half?
Well, first off, Upper St. Clair gets the ball first, so they got to make them punt. You need to stop them. I know you got some mental wins with the field goals, but now you're down by 15 points. You need to figure it out defensively. You've done a really good job in the red zone, but what can you do to slow them down on first and second down to make those third downs a little bit more uncomfortable? Because you saw at USC, there's going to be times where they're going to throw the deep ball, but everything gets set up by that Wildcat, and they have Banbury back there. They got Corey back there. They have so many different guys that can run the football and get 7, 8, 9 yards a carry. It makes drives really easy.
So what do you think about the matchup here? You know, going in, we thought on paper Upper St. Clair had the upper hand. Obviously, they have the lead at half. What do you see? Where are the mismatches here?
I think it's offensive line. At South Fayette, they have the talent on the outside. We've seen Welhorsky at quarterback make some huge plays, but just when you can be methodical every single drive and really bully people up front, that's what you're seeing. Upper St. Clair just has a lot of size up front, and that offensive line, they're doing a really good job. People like to call them hogs. They're gonna big push up front for their quarterback and their running back.
Yeah, a lot of work for the lines to get back in this one, for sure. Up next, our Jerome Bettis Leadership Award for Week 6, senior offensive and defensive lineman Tommy Wojcik. Tommy is the ideal role model for Seneca Valley and his community. He's a member of Seneca Valley's student athletic leadership team, a team captain for the football team, brings a contagious positive energy every day at those around him. He's also heavily involved in the community service activities, and assisting with local youth football leagues and summer camps. Tommy's a selfless young man who's quick to direct praise to his teammates and coaches. That's always something that we love to see from kids. I mean, not taking the credit themselves. The WPIL has produced plenty of big-time talent over the years, including South Fayette's Justin Watson. Here's more now on the Kansas City Chief.
Drafted Western PA to the NFL, presented by UPMC. Number 52, Justin Watson.
As a high school player at South Fayette, nobody thought Justin Watson would eventually be considered one of the top players ever drafted from Western Pennsylvania. But just a decade later, he was proving them all wrong.
To the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown, Justin Watson.
That NFL success didn't come easy. He wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school and took the best scholarship offer he got at the University of Pennsylvania, where he surprisingly became a draft prospect after setting nearly every school record for receiving. In 2018, he was drafted by Tampa Bay in the 5th round, where he won his first Super Bowl but played sparingly over 4 seasons. His career took off in 2022 when he signed as a free agent in Kansas City. In 3 seasons with the Chiefs, Watson caught 119 passes and won 2 more Super Bowl rings. This offseason, he signed with the Houston Texans, where he will begin his 8th NFL season.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots in real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles. We build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
Welcome back to the Shell Halftime Show at Panther Stadium. Upper St. Clair leading South Fayette 29-14 at the half. We just got a chance to look at some big-time WPIL talent. Speaking of big talent, Ethan Helman, Upper St. Clair quarterback, 4-year starter, leads the WPIL in passing, coming into this game with 1,500 yards. Matt Fargo got a chance to sit down with him.
What's the best home-cooked meal you get, and who makes it?
Steak. My dad makes it.
The most memorable play you've ever made, why does it stick with you?
Game-winning touchdown pass to my brother, because my family, so it's always going to stick with me.
What's on your bucket list before graduation?
Go on a plane.
What's your advice to younger football players that look up to you?
Always be prepared, because you never know when your time's going to come.
You're on TV. What do you want to say to your parents?
Hi. This is Ethan Helman from St. Clair, and you are watching the Steelers High School Showcase on KDKA+.
It's now time for our Steelers Coach of the Week honors for Week 5. The honor goes to Coach Ron Busby of Western Beaver. Busby led his team to a 48-19 conference victory over Riverside behind a strong rushing attack, going for over 250 yards and 7 touchdowns. Coach Busby has led the Golden Beavers to a 6-0 start for the first time in 20 years and remains one of the only 9 undefeated WPIL teams. This marks Coach Busby's first Coach of the Week honors since taking over the program in 2021. Good stuff. Congratulations to Coach.
We talked a little bit about him in pregame, and we get to highlight him a little bit, but now it's our favorite time of the week. It's time for the WPIL Top 10 Plays of the Week, Week 4, with our dear friend, Carlo Zofko.
It's halftime of the Steelers High School Football Showcase, and you are watching the WPIL Insider Show with your host, the WPIL Insider, Carlo Zofko. This is all presented to us by our friends at Home Team Collections. Give them a look online at hometeamcollections.com. They have the best jerseys. They can frame you the best memorabilia. Trust me, you're going to love the work they do. It is quality. It is perfection. If you're new here at this halftime, we break down the top 10 plays of the week in Western Pennsylvania from last week. Can you believe we are already 6 weeks through the season? We're running out of Fridays. Unbelievable. Let's jump right into the top 10 list right here.
Coming in at number 10, we're going to go to a game-winning field goal. It's going to be Evan Sankovic sinking it for the Moon Tigers as the time expires. Moon goes on to beat Bethel Park. At number 9, it's our favorite player in the WPIL. He makes this highlight list about every single week. It's going to be Woody High's Scoop Smith, reversing fields, breaking a tackle, and you know you're not beating him to that corner of the end zone. Scoop, another top 10 play. At number 8, it's going to be the Stanford commit, Lucas Shanafeld. He's going to one-hand this from Nolan DeLucia, jump over the defense, and score for Peters as they knock off USC. At number 7, we're going to go to Amani Christian's Gabe Jenkins, who goes beast mode on the defense. Very, very destructive. At number 6, we're going to go to Bell Vernon versus Thomas Jefferson. It's going to be Curdy Wade finding Anthony DeCenzo, and Anthony's going to break a couple tackles from the Jags, outrun the defense, and there go the Leps. TJ would come back to win, but Anthony and the Leopards get the top play of the week. At number 5, we're going to go to the Brentwood and Fraser game, and it's going to be Brentwood's Cedric Davis. You're not going to be able to get this kid down. Drops back to pass, breaks a couple tackles. He's going to call his own number and go all the way for the touchdown. Brentwood would fall, but they get the top play. At number 4, we're going to go back to the Amani Christian game, and it's going to be Gabe Jenkins again, finding David Davis on the tip pass. Both Penn State commits, both making the top 10 plays. At number 3, we're going to go to Wash High Trenton Grooms, and Grooms is going to power his way through the heart of the defense, come out the other end, and Wash High is going to smoke South Park last week. Wash High, big win and top play. At number 2, we're going to go to East Allegheny's Cedric Mack, and Cedric has been watching some Johnny football film because he's circling the defense like Johnny Manziel circa 2015, and Cedric going to take it in for the score. And at number 1, our home team collections play of the week, it's going to be South Fayette's Aiden Wright, and Wright is going to break 1,000,000 tackles against Baldwin, spin off the defense, and find the end zone. Big play for the Lions.
Another unbelievable top 10. I have so much fun doing this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors at Home Team Collection for doing this with us as well. I'm your host and WPIL Insider, Carlos Ofco, and I'll see you next week at halftime.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
Why do I love having a healthcare concierge?
It's the speaking to a real live person.
It's the figuring things out, so I don't have to.
Es la voz que me da.
It's the making sure I get my prescriptions on time.
It's the call, just to see how my son was doing after his accident.
When you have a healthcare concierge team, you have partners. Partners in care.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
Welcome back to the Shell halftime show here at Panther Stadium. Upper St. Clair leading South Fayette 29-14 at half. Homecoming court being announced behind us. Jacobo Echeverria just announced he is on the court. Upper St. Clair's kicker. I don't know if we're gonna. Do they announce a winner? Right? I don't know how it goes. Do they announce a winner now or later?
I think, right? I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
Know. We'll try to keep an ear out for that. But right now we're gonna get into some team stats from the first half, taking a look back at what both of these teams did. So when you look at this, obviously it's easy to see what stands out.
Yeah, I would say. Again, the yards aren't that much, but what Upper St. Clair underrated here is they're getting great field position on kick returns and punt returns. 126 pass yards and 99 rush yards, 9 first downs, only 20 penalty yards, so it's pretty clean. And, again, they've scored on every single drive. Now, some of those have been field goals, but, again, you have to be happy with what you've seen so far.
Yeah, there's discrepancy not as much as when you
really
do the quick look. Yeah,
it's just the field position for Upper St. Clair has just paid major dividends.
Yeah. We'll take a look at how this one went down. First half highlights.
Get ready.
This was a back and forth game.
Right here, this is the 80-yard touchdoayton by Tyson Wright. We were talking about his brother so much in pregame. Tyson said,
right.
Don't forget about me. 80 yards, just a simple slant, blown coverage. Great play for South Fayette.
Yeah, his brother Aiden, freshman, getting some looks from big-time schools
a lot of looks
right now. Yeah.
And then you see Upper St. Clair punching in on their first drive with a 2-yard rush right there as well.
Dante Corey getting it done for Upper St. Clair.
And then South Fayette, again, they just kept answering. Here's Welhorsky with a nice little jet sweep fake. He's going to take it up the middle. Oh, excuse me, I said Welhorsky on that one because he did score in the first half. But that was Drew Welhorsky. I thought it was someone else.
14-10.
Yeah, 14-10 right there. And then Upper St. Clair, they're going to answer again. Again, we didn't think we'd see him catching touchdowns in this game, but here comes John Banbury right there with a highlight reel catch. We might see that on top 10 plays next week.
Made it 16-14 Upper St. Clair.
And then me and you right behind this play. We said, we're going to take a real quick break here, and then you just see an absolute bomb to Bryce Jones, 81 yards. We saw a perfect view of that. What a beautiful pitch and catch right there. Our camera crew did a great job. And then let's talk about the guy that was just on the homecoming court, Jacobo Echeverria, with 3 field goals in the first half. He did miss an extra point, which I never thought he would, but he did miss 1 extra point, but 3 field goals. South Fayette, you wanted him to come back, but there goes Nico DeRazio. We talk about him as a wide receiver, but right there playing kind of a center field safety. Takes a shot from Welhorsky, but a nice job once again on that interception. And then there's 1 more field goal for our homecoming court man himself, Jacobo.
Yeah, taking away any momentum that South Fayette was going to have to end that half. Taking a look around the WPIL for halftime scores as well. I know we talked a little bit before the game about what we thought was going to go down. We're surprised by anything going on here.
Newcastle's up. A lot of people picked Montour in this game, 14-7. Bell Vernon Chartiers, everybody said it was going to be a close game, 14-14. Again, Norwin and Hempfield. A lot of games are really hard to pick this week. Norwin up by 2 right now. Central Valley, after that defeat we saw last week, they're up 24-0. Thomas Jefferson looks like they're back on track, 22-7. Yeah, very happy about that. And then Fort Cherry, is anybody going to be able to stop these guys in 1A? Matt Sig might end up scoring 300 touchdowns. We don't even know at this point. But it's 42-14, and I bet he's got 5 of those touchdowns if I had to bet.
And you are a betting man. I actually don't know. We talked a lot about betting. I really don't know why. Because I don't know. Anyhow, Upper St. Clair again with a 29-14 lead over South Fayette at half. Second half coming up. Thanks for hanging with us tonight on the Shell Halftime Show. I'm Allie Cohn. He's Damon McDermott. Don't go anywhere. Matt Fargo, Arthur Motes has the second half for you coming up.
Did you know you can make your home or building look brand new? For the whole project or just spot repointing, make your home exterior brand new like when it was built. Call or visit Mariani-Richards.com.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy and I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
And we're back to Upper St. Clair for the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week presented by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and Giant Eagle. Upper St. Clair has the advantage over South Fayette at the break, 29-14. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. That's Arthur Moats. I'm Matt Fargo. Happy to have you along this Friday night here in our Steelers High School Showcase. And, you know, I think for the question for me, Arthur, is who's having a better night for Upper St. Clair? Is it Nico Durazio or is it Giada Durazio, who was just named Homecoming Queen of 2025 here at USC?
No, you're absolutely right. Both of them are having a really, really impactful night, and for both of their families, in terms of the car ride home, should be feeling extremely good about it. So hopefully they'll be able to continue the festivities in the second half for Upper St. Clair.
Yeah, and shout out to the King as well, Warren Timko. He is a member of the USC football team. He won King tonight. So party for the Panthers here on homecoming night.
No, absolutely. And as a football guy, you always love to see some of those guys get recognized
Absolutely.
off of the field for the good looks, the leadership, you know.
Doing the winning as King and dressed up in your football uniform also looks pretty good too, right?
Absolutely.
So South Fayette trailing 29-14, and they have to give it right back to Upper St. Clair. Adding insult to injury there is from the 19-yard line, Corey on the return with the flag down. And that's one thing that we have not seen much of tonight, Arthur, is the flags. It has been a very clean game for the most part.
Yeah, and I'm not really surprised by that when you talk about both coaches, right? Talk about Mike Junko, we obviously know with Marty Spiller, excuse me. With both of those guys, they do a good job of understanding the discipline and just the technique and fundamentals. And when you have that being instilled in both of these programs, you should have games like tonight where it's a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, just 4 penalties in the first half, 2 apiece. So a little different than what we've been accustomed to.
We did the jinx.
Substitution infraction. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You start complimenting guys, and they can't handle the compliments. Come on, guys.
We've now had half as many penalties as we did in the first half, and we have yet to snap the ball in the second half. Legal substitution makes it a 1st and 15, now back at the 17 for Ethan Helman. Helman hands it off and pushing forward here. Wow, what a push it is. It's a push for a first down for Banbury. Give him 11.
And that's some tough physical inside running right there. You heard Coach Junko talk about wanting to get those guys back involved, right, in terms of running the football. And right there, you see Banbury, being physical, picking up a nice first down for the Upper St. Clair offense.
Timeout. South Fayette.
That was 15 yards. And then South Fayette burns a timeout here early. And for more on South Fayette and their adjustments at the break, let's go down to Allie.
Guys, I talked to offensive coordinator Alex Dennison. He said their kicker, Echeverrio, is the X factor tonight. He said, obviously, to start this second half, it makes things tough. But he said they're 1 or 2 guys away on every play. They've got to keep it close. They want to see if they can get into a dogfight here at the end.
Yeah, Allie, I think we were talking about that exact thing going to the break about, you circle the fact that you've held USC to 3 field goals. You still trail, but you don't trail by what you could.
Yeah, when you talk about playing against teams like Upper St. Clair that are a little bit more proven at this stage, you have to click on all cylinders. It's very hard to not just beat an Upper St. Clair team, but beat them while overcoming your own shortcomings. And that's one of the things that we've seen from South Fayette offensively, unfortunately, tonight.
126 total yards for USC in the first half, and there is finding his way through a crease was Durazio with the flag down.
Holding. Offense number 10. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Sometimes you can't make it up.
I'm just going to tell you now, I'm seeking comfort. I blame you. None of these flags happen until you start talking about flags. Now we're getting flags left and right.
You're seeking comfort, and I'm not living in my fears. First down and 20. Back to pass, and they set up the screen pass to Banbury. Banbury gets loose, and Banbury has a first down and into South Fayette territory. Panthers were backed up, and they go to the screenplay that works to perfection.
Perfect timing on the screenplay right there. You have a very aggressive, very fired up Lions defense coming in on a blitz. QB takes a hit, but he's able to deliver the nice dump off pass on the screen to Banbury. And then from there, you see some downfield blocking by the company, Randy Yan and the company down there. But ultimately, Phil flipping play, and now they add insult to it with another explosive run.
Yeah, that's Josh Snyder one more time. Deeper into South Fayette territory. Lions thought we have him backed up. We have him exactly where we want him. We're going to get off the field. And just like that, Lions are getting backed up themselves.
And for Upper St. Clair, staying true to identity. Josh Snyder comes in at quarterback. You see more of these QB runs downhill, and they've had a lot of success doing it when he's been in there.
Snyder, ball comes out. South Fayette recovers. And the turn of the tide that the Lions needed, Bryce Watkins comes up with the loose football.
Excellent play by Bryce Watkins on that Lions defense right here. Josh Snyder running the QB power, and then from there, you see 14 attacking the football. This is something that we talk about at all levels. You want to attack the ball. Make those ball carriers think about that when they're not protecting it, and right there for Bryce Watkins, explosive play, creating that turnover and recovering it, and now this is how you steal a possession. Coming out of halftime, we know Upper St. Clair would get the ball, but them not being able to capitalize, now let's see what the Lions can do.
Yep, South Fayette gets it just like that. First down and 10 from the 28-yard line, and Welhorsky and company go to the ground game. And Wright is stacked up. Forward progress as they're punching at the football. And whistles finally stop all of the commotion.
Like the physicality, I like the approach that the Lions are trying to use right there, but we both would agree. Running into the core of this Panthers defense is not where they've had the most success. It's been more on the perimeters or even through the air. So let's see when South Fayette will get back to that approach.
Second down, 8. Welhorsky rolls on the run. It got tipped, knocked down. John Banbury, I believe, was the one who got his hand on it. This is just great job of getting your paw in the passing lane.
Yeah, really good job by Banbury, because if he doesn't make that PBU, he does have number 11, Bo Stover, the running back, creeping out the backfield for potential pickup. But nice job by that Panthers defense, forcing the incompletion, and now you have this Lions offense in a 3rd and long, once again, where they've struggled tonight, making too much of this being a habit.
No question about it. It is 3rd down and 8, ball at the 30-yard line. Screen pass set up to Specca, and Specca shakes off 2 would-be tacklers and finally gets pulled down. Forward progress going to mark him about 3 yards shy of the sticks.
And that was a good job by Daniel Specca on the perimeter, making something out of nothing. But you can see that Panthers defense was not fooled at all. Randy Yan and company pursuing to the football and ultimately forcing this 4th and 5.
Yep, 4th and 5 it is from the 33. Welhorsky rolls, throws. It's incomplete. Right place, right time. As the pass intended for the Visor, incomplete, and USC takes over on downs. They have the lead of the football when we come back on KDK Plus.
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
At Loewe, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Loewe apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Loewe to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
You know, when Gary's call came in, just by the sound of the call, you knew that this was a bad injury.
When I saw Gary in the hospital room, they were afraid that his injuries were so severe that the lower leg wouldn't be salvageable. It was 50-50 as to whether Gary was going to keep the lower limb.
My name's Gary. When I needed help the most, Edgar Snyder was there for me. I wouldn't have wanted no one else. I'm glad they were my team, straight up.
At Hello Bistro, we keep it fresh. Fresh flavors, fresh choices, endless ways to build what you're craving. Because food should be as bold as you are. You deserve fresh. Only at Hello Bistro.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, Octane Customs, your brand on the move. You're looking at South Fayette's new Freight-to-Plate mobile classroom that was beautifully wrapped by our friends at Octane Customs. And they also wrapped our JRM Video Production trailer. See the Steelers High School Showcase, JRM Video Productions, and a great example of the creativity and community in action there for Octane Customs. Looking great.
Some really nice work right there. Love to see that.
And the mobile classroom is pretty impressive as well, as Corey gets blown up. Anthony Charles, the senior, goes right after Dante Corey Alasatu.
Nice job right there by Anthony Charles, ripping through this D-line right here, getting his pads upfield, and then from there making the big TFL. And regardless of the score, you love to see the passion. You love to see the excitement from a defender, even at this stage in the game.
Little TJ Watt celebration.
You see it, right?
Second down, 12 from the 35. Helman pressured, throws on the money at the 25-yard line. It's DeRazio holding it in, and has enough for a first down as he picks up 12.
Yeah, DeRazio once again making plays, being that safety blanket for Ethan Helman, who once again took a shot at the end of that play, but continues to stand in that pocket and deliver.
Corey off the right side. Corey does get the corner, and he's thrown out at the 16-yard line. And, you know, it's said so much in football, the cliche, game of inches. Boy, has this game been one of those, though. You've seen how close South Fayette's an inch away from a sack, and it turns into a 15-yard first down.
And that's why you talk about executing. We talk about focusing on all of the little details. In games like tonight, you're seeing where they show up. And for Upper St. Clair, they've been the team tonight being able to get to some of those positive plays, whereas for South Fayette, they've been a step behind. And that's the unfortunate part, because you can see where they've had potential to make this game a little bit closer or even have a lead.
That pass goes sailing. You know, Helman, one interception on the season. Third down and 4 here. And he'll go to Corey. Corey falls forward, and he's going to fall just shy of the sticks. It will be just shy. Fourth down upcoming. Helman hands it off to Corey. Corey's loose. Corey's into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers.
Nice explosive run right there by Upper St. Clair. We talk about what they've been trying to do, controlling the line of scrimmage. And once again right there, you see them relying on the big guys up front, and Dante Corey with the explosive run for the touchdown, giving the Panthers a 35-14 lead. But you see him on the inside zone. The next guy near to him is the quarterback, Drew Welhorsky. Unfortunately, not soon enough. And then from there, you see the touchdown, the celebration at the end. Those guys are fired up on homecoming night.
Extra point coming eventually. I think there was an injured South Fayette Lion on the play. was Welhorsky being helped off.
That is one of the things when you have your quarterback playing safety, it always makes you a little bit nervous when you see him getting injured on the defensive side, but good to see him walking off on his own power.
Corey punches in rushing touchdown number 6 of the season. And Echeverria puts the extra point in. 36-14. USC with the lead on homecoming night in this showdown in the South Hills. Revving it up for the Panthers, Dante Corey.
At Giant Eagle, we believe in better because this recipe is 4 generations and going strong. Because it's more than a cake, it's a tradition. Because when you were little, this made it all better too. Because this has been Sunday for as long as you could remember. For over 90 years, Giant Eagle has been here to keep your traditions going strong. Because it matters.
Thanks.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Welcome to La Roche University, where experience isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
At La Roche, our students thrive by putting their ideas into action.
So we came in today just kind of getting a general idea of valuing a model and how it is done in actual real-life time.
I think what they're doing in La Roche with the applied learning has a lot of value for the students. They're able to see the real-world numbers come to life, and that has a lot of impact for them.
La Roche University, engaging minds, embracing the world.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
This October, high school football comes to Sportsnet Pittsburgh under the Thursday night lights. Watch as the Norway Knights take on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings October 9th at 8 p.m. only on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
JRM Video Productions, winners of a regional Emmy Award for live sporting event.
Something to cheer about on a homecoming night in Upper St. Clair tonight. 36-14, Panthers on top of the Lions. And this cat fight. Back with Arthur Moats, Allie Cohen down to the sidelines, Matt Fargo with you. This one rolled all the way to the 2-yard line and then shredding a couple tacklers, bouncing off another one. And a nice return there by Bo Stover, considering where he picked that football up. Take a look at the Kelly Automotive Drive recap. 6 plays, 33 yards, a minute 52. USC has been doing it under 2 minutes a lot tonight.
And continuing to capitalize on the short starting position for the offense, right? When you talk about them getting that 4th down stop, they come back, short situation, ultimately able to put that drive together, get the touchdown. And now when you talk about where this game is in comparison to where it was, it's starting to feel a little bit out of reach. So we'll see if South Fayette can ultimately put together some points on this drive to get back in this thing.
Handed off on 1st down. And about the same result. Aiden Wright bottled up. And, you know, Coach Junko said at halftime that they made some defensive adjustments. And those adjustments have worked. Now even in here to the 3rd quarter of South Fayette, it's really their offense that had been as close to unstoppable as you could get, has been stifled.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think one of the things, if you're talking about defensively for the Panthers, they've done a good job of setting those perimeters, right? Because we said South Fayette wants to attack you to the sideline, but with those corners playing as physical as they have been and the way they're tackling, it really makes South Fayette struggle to get them on the edge.
Well, Welhorsky nowhere to go. ends up falling forward for 2 yards. And he is slow to get up here. And medical staff being waived. Another look.
Little inside QB run. Oh, looks like he got wrapped up a little awkwardly on the tackle by Ryan Robbins right there. Hopefully he'll be able to recover and be all right for the rest of this game, because that's definitely somebody that the Lions are going to need if they want to mount this comeback tonight.
Yeah, and moving forward throughout this season. Panthers with the 36-14 advantage, 6 minutes to go here in the third. We'll keep an eye on the field as Welhorsky is getting pulled up here.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists. A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
So Welhorsky off, Luke Gillen, a senior, in. And they go back to the ground game. Beg your pardon, that's Brandon Plasko in at quarterback for South Fayette. Plasko, a 6 foot, 173-pound junior. Now it's 4th down. This is going to be interesting because, remember, Welhorsky's the punter. I think at this point you have to go for it, trailing by what you are. 4th down and 2 coming up.
Yeah, and this Panthers defense is ready for anything towards the sideline. But like you said, for the Lions, they have to go for it, and honestly, they need to get this in order to stay in this game.
Just gets the snap off, rolling, Platsko throws, and stretching. I don't think he got it. It was completed to Tyson Wright, but Wright was stopped short of the line to gain. And it will be a turnover on downs. Upper St. Clair's defense, they have been locked down.
Yeah, Nico right there making a nice play on the perimeter, tackling. And that's what I've been really impressed with when you're talking about Nico, D'Orazio, and Bryce Jones out there on the perimeter at the corner spots. Them playing this cover two is what they ultimately shifted to in that second quarter, and that gave them the ability to now tackle those perimeter runs. And with those corners tackling as well as they have tonight, that's really stymied the Lions' offensive attack, and they haven't really had a response to that just yet.
5 minutes to go here in the third. St. Clair's offense about to take the field. Hey, Thursday Night Football, high school style on Sportsnet Pittsburgh next Thursday. Norwin takes on Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Watch all the action live starting at 8 p.m. on Sportsnet Pittsburgh Plus, and then a rebroadcast on Friday at 7 p.m. on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Helman escapes and will just lob this one incomplete. And excited to see the Knights and the Vikings on Thursday night, and then, of course, Steelers Showcase action on Friday night. And with the rebroadcast, there'll be 2 broadcasts going on simultaneously. That should be an interesting Friday.
If you're a fan of high school football,
right,
you can't ask for anything better than that.
No.
And some nice matchups as well.
No doubt. Tristan Tavares, an impressive quarterback with those Knights. And Corey carries forward to the 35. We're talking about Helman at quarterback for USC. 4-year starter. Came into tonight 30-5, his career record under center. And he threw 1 interception this year. But before that happened, the last time he threw a pick, September 22nd, 2023. It had been over almost 2 years before the last interception and this one.
And when you watch him play, it shows in his game. He's really good in terms of making decisions. He understands when to be aggressive, taking shots down the field, but then also when to take the more conservative route and give his guy a chance to make a play, like you just saw right there on that pass he delivered to Drew Sanderson for the first down.
And Drew Sanderson, a senior from Canada, and moved here to the States. The international connection.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Sanderson. Oh, boy. Let's get to that point here. As Dante Corey carries one more time for an Upper St. Clair first down inside the 15 to the 14.
And those big guys up front have really done an excellent job tonight, not just protecting Ethan Helman, but also providing some of these rush lanes for Dante Corey and company.
And a high throw there by Helman goes incomplete. Trying to find Razzo in the Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone.
But going back to the big guys up front, the left tackle, like we said, number 51, Kenny Davis, Grady Elias, number 65 at left guard, Mason Geyer at center, Chase Kazmarek, and of course Ryan Robbins at the right tackle spot. They have done an excellent job of winning the line of scrimmage. When we talk about watching this team run the football, just look at how much yards or how much space they acquire before their running back even gets touched. That's a true test too.
They flip it over to Snyder, and Snyder is into the end zone. Touchdown, USC. Ethan Helman finds Snyder on the flip. And the Panthers have opened this wide open.
And we talked about that offensive line. Look at this. Not a defender in sight to touch him until he is crossing into the end zone. That is how you want to see it if you're an offensive line team, and that's how you want to see it when you're talking about Coach Junko dialing it up for one of his playmakers by Josh Snyder.
Extra point from the right foot. Echeverria, it's good. Jacobo puts it through, and it is 43-14 USC. Our Kelly Automotive Drive recap, 6 plays, 37 yards. Another one that goes under 2 minutes at 1:25. Kelly Automotive driving our drive recaps.
And the physicality continues to show, especially as this game has gotten into the latter parts of it. You watch how Upper St. Clair has really been able to control the line of scrimmage defensively, but then also from an offensive perspective. And for the Lions, it's becoming that time where you're asking yourself, what can you do to have any type of positivity? Because it's been so long since they've done anything that has went in their favor.
It's going to be hard to believe for people that see this score that there were 5 lead changes in this game.
I mean, you think about it, midway through the second quarter, it was still a very competitive game.
Yeah.
But when we talk about those 2 3-and-outs by the South Fayette offense, we talk about a punt return, an interception, and then from there, South Fayette not being able to capitalize when they got the ball once again out of the half. And now this is why the score looks like how it does. And like I said, for Upper St. Clair, this is what you wanted to do. You talk about feeling like you're the better team, go out there and prove it, and that's what they're doing tonight.
Yeah, this game started, USC goes up 3-0. Then South Fayette quickly responds, makes it 7-3. USC goes right back down, punches in a touchdown to make it 10-7. That's the third lead change. The fourth lead change, South Fayette goes right back down the field, scores again, makes it 14-10. And the fifth lead change with Upper St. Clair back against the wall, but end up connecting on an 81-yard pass play to make it 16-14, and they've led ever since.
Yeah, and we said early on, both of these teams were trading punches, right? We said South Fayette was more of the haymaker style with these explosive plays, but then Upper St. Clair were more methodical in terms of how they were getting their production. But now it looks like Upper St. Clair has started to wear out that South Fayette offense and defense, and they just don't have enough back to punch back to get Upper St. Clair off of them right now.
You see Drew Welhorsky back out there. Well, that's good news for South Fayette fans because he's one of the best in the business. Play action, and they hit the slant route, but it was thrown a little bit behind Specca. Specca transferred from Central Catholic midway through the season last year. Had to sit out a couple weeks and then rolled eligible.
And that right there has kind of been the story for the Lions when they went to that passing attack. A lot of near misses. And as we said, when you're playing against a team like Upper St. Clair, you have to capitalize on those opportunities if you want to stay in this game.
3rd down and 3. They go to the ground game one more time. Back to the well. I don't mean Welhorsky. I mean Bo Stover. Stover picked up enough for a South Fayette first down, and it's been a while since we've said even that. As the Lions convert here. Welhorsky on a 1st and 10, and will take off and run with it. Pick up 9 on 1st down. Mentioned this is the 8th time these two teams have met. USC is 7-0, but as it sits right now, this would be the 2nd largest win in that history, the largest being 35 points, 35-0. Everything else was within 2 scores, including an overtime game back in 2021, 31-28 Panthers. Welhorsky looking near side. That's a great PBU. Breaking up the pass, Randy Yan.
And you're absolutely right. Really good job by Randy Yan breaking on that play, not getting any type of defensive pass interference, but ultimately shooting that inside hand across the bow and making a nice PBU. That's what you want to see from a coaching perspective right there. But when you talk about the history of this matchup, I mean, Upper St. Clair definitely has had their numbers, and when you watch how they've been able to control the line of scrimmage, that's a big reason why they've been able to have that type of success. And until South Fayette can find an answer for that, they're always going to kind of feel like they're playing little brother to Upper St. Clair right now.
Yeah, and Welhorsky keeps there, picks up another 1st down, and picking himself up off the turf one more time.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see them still utilizing him in the QB run element when we obviously have seen him kind of being a little bit more labored getting up after some of these runs as this game continues to progress.
1st down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Welhorsky on the end around for Aiden Wright. Right just shy of the midfield stripe. As we're under a minute to play here in this 3rd frame. 2nd half belongs to the Panthers to this point. Aerial coverage tonight from Upper St. Clair, brought to you by GBU Life. Protect what matters now. Thanks to Andrew Rush for all of his great flying abilities all season long. Ball carried forward to the 49, and they'll roll him down.
Yeah, the defensive adjustments that the Panthers made, though, in that 2nd quarter. I mean, you can see the explosive plays that were allowed early on. We haven't seen any glimpse of that since they started making this adjustment to more of a cover 2 approach. And that's what you call good coaching.
That'll be the final play of the 3rd. 43-14. Steelers High School Showcase, game of the week, the 4th quarter. When we come back to Upper St. Clair, Panthers well in front.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions, to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Mazda. We have a great opportunity for you. 2025 Mazda CX-30 lease. Only $29.99 down for as low as $289 a month. We have 129 new Mazdas in stock for immediate delivery. What a great selection. Come on up, drive one home today.
The honest dealer, believably different, Bud Bear.
Thanks for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock. To your family, you are more than just your income. What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Better get some life insurance. Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
The build. What is it that drives us to follow our dreams? To build them from scratch, from the heart. For us, it's the same ideals of hard work, craftsmanship, and unity that define our great nation. It begins with trusting in yourself and having a team behind you that believes any dream is possible, and that every project is a vision of what can be, of who you are, and the future that you continue to build. From our family to yours, 84 Lumber, where quality and pride come together, one dream at a time.
JRM mission control to start the fourth quarter. Our great JRM video production crew working hard behind the scenes. Greatest team in showbiz in high school football in Western Pennsylvania. The Emmy Award-winning JRM Video Productions bringing you all the sights and sounds tonight.
Only the best in the business, you know that.
I might be a little biased, but...
Well, I mean, Emmy Award-winning, not one, two.
Yes.
Got to put respect on it. Earned,
they say one's,
not given.
One's a fluke, right?
Absolutely. Anybody could do it one time. But to do it two times, that's different. And in back-to-back form. Yes. Come on now. Not a lot of people are doing that right now.
First down and 10 for the Lions. Welhorsky not conducting now, will throw as the receiver comes back to the football but cannot make the catch. Incomplete. That one intended for Mons. Second down coming up. And, you know, in this Allegheny 6, Arthur, it's just a gauntlet time and time and time again. I mean, you're talking about most of the teams, actually all but one team in this conference, finding their way in terms of playoff positioning.
Yeah, and I think that that's what makes this such an intriguing conference, but also why games like tonight where you're looking at two teams and you're saying, well, how does it feel almost this lopsided? It just is a test to how this is a week-to-week league because, as you said, man, some of these common matchups, it doesn't feel like this, but every single week at 5A, anybody can do this to you.
Well, and a perfect example of that is Upper St. Clair struggled with McKeesport. They only won 17-14. We saw what what happened in McKeesport in Peters Township.
Peters, absolutely.
Peters dominated that game
start to finish.
And yet last week it's a 4-point game between USC and Peters. And you said it, it's a week-to-week league. And Moon struggled out of the gate, lost to Seneca Valley 2 weeks ago, and then they beat Bethel Park last week. Moon and Peters Township in action tonight.
And we look at Peters as king of the hill right now, but we know how well Upper St. Clair played against them. And like you said, when it's this tight and with all the teams at 5A having talented players on both sides of the ball, that's what makes it so interesting and why I'm such a fan when we get to call these 5A games.
And Moon's playing right with Peters tonight. It's 21-10 with about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And we know Peters is loaded.
Right. And oh, by the way, there's a team that's the defending champions from up north that we haven't talked much about, and the Pine Richland Rams.
Yeah, the forgotten team, right? How did you do that?
Welhorsky on 4th down converts. As South Fayette dialing one up to complete it and move the sticks.
Welhorsky's pass complete to number 12, Jacob.
And he went right to the guy that he had success with early on in the game in terms of hitting, I believe it was a 3rd down early in the game. Very similar route and throw. Unfortunately, they just haven't had enough of that tonight, but you can see what they're capable of when they put that ball in the air and when those receivers are on the same page as Drew.
Yeah, Levizar makes that catch, and first down at 10 from the 32. Welhorsky on a slant pattern that gets intercepted off of the tip. DeRazio has his 2nd of the game, and he'll take a seat as USC shuts the door on the South Fayette offense one more time.
Timeout.
It's a great night to be a DeRazio. 1-1 homecoming queen. Another has a pick. Panthers having a night in Panther land.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons,
primary care sports medicine physicians,
board-certified physical therapists, comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion,
nutrition,
athletic training,
sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. We deliver that right to you.
This Friday, the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, features Bishop Cannabis as the Crusaders take on the Fort Cherry Rangers. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+.
College isn't for everyone, but from pay to training to retirement, Pennsylvania Laborers Union members live better. PA Laborers Union offers a great wage potential of $42 per hour and terrific health benefits. Imagine having 0 student loans while receiving state-of-the-art construction training. Join the team and get mentorship and guidance from experienced members. Go now to laborparecruit.com for more information.
You've got dreams, might even be something big. Imagine what you could do with the right solutions, secured against evolving threats, and set up to make the right decisions faster. At Acrisure, we help protect and grow everything you've worked so hard to build. We are the brightest people using the best of technology. We are an extraordinary advantage for you. We are Acrisure.
This Saturday, tune into Sportsnet Pittsburgh for D3 college football as the Geneva Golden Tornadoes host the Grove City Wolverines in Beaver Falls. PAC football this Saturday at 7:30, only on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
All right, Moats, break this one down as Corey Berger would say, go Fingerworks.
Tips and overthrows. You see Nico DeRazio right here as the play starts, a little bit of a pressure, but unfortunately, as the play starts, you do see a little bit of a tip, and from there, Nico with the interception.
Helman's pass complete to number 15, Josh Snyder.
Snyder on the reception.
Takes it all the way up to the 39-yard line for Upper St. Clair, first down.
USC with the first down with another lion down. You know, these programs, we talked about their storied histories, but these school districts also have deep roots. Upper St. Clair traces its earliest heritage back to the late 18th century to the Higbee School, which was a one-room log cabin school and was known as the first school in the area in Western Pennsylvania.
Wow, you talk about some history right there. I mean, I wonder if we could go back and ask them when that was first created, would they ever imagine having a school so big where the sporting facility has elevators in here? I mean, you think about this right here. I mean, to start somewhere, though, and that's what it all is about, right? Where do you start? Where's the foundation of it? But that's some amazing history when you think about just the evolution of this area.
Yeah, and the Higbee School located just on the northeast border of where we are right now, of where the present Upper St. Clair high school sits. Pretty interesting.
The North Allegheny Tigers 28, the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils 13.
All the news and nuggets that we could provide here.
And that's the thing that we're supposed to do at this stage, right? We're supposed to educate the viewers and let them know some interesting facts about both of these schools. And I think that is something that we're getting right now.
Yeah, of course, a lot of great legends on both sides. And a big run here. Upper St. Clair wants to add more. Luca Corey says, hey, I can score too. It's not just Dante. Put Luca Corey on the scorecard.
The sophomore running back right there showing he wants to be a part of the action on homecoming night. Little bit of a misdirection inside counter right there and splits the defense right down the middle. The burst, the speed, and the touchdown. And now Upper St. Clair is feeling extremely confident with this lead now.
51 yards. Luca Corey, and maybe the teams in the Allegheny 6 say, oh man, thank goodness Dante Corey is done. He's a senior after this year. And then you just see the sophomore Luca Corey do what he just did. And they go, oh God, there's another one.
Just when you thought it was over, just when you thought you didn't have anybody else to worry about, there is another Corey. Absolutely.
Well, don't go anywhere. We will be back after this 50-14, a 50-burger in USC.
This October, high school football comes to Sportsnet Pittsburgh under the Thursday night lights. Watch as the Norwin Knights take on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings October 9th at 8 p.m. only on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
This Friday, the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, features Bishop Cannabin as the Crusaders take on the Fort Cherry Rangers. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
This Saturday, tune in to Sportsnet Pittsburgh for D3 college football as the Geneva Golden Tornadoes host the Grove City Wolverines in Beaver Falls. PAC football this Saturday at 7:30, only on Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
Friday night in the Steel City on the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. 50-14. USC over South Fayette. Back with Arthur Moats, Allie Cohen downstairs. I'm Matt Fargo. Fourth quarter action on homecoming night at Upper St. Clair. And we'll take a look at another Kelly Automotive drive summary from our pylon cam. 2 plays, 72 yards. Another drive under 2 minutes. It's so impressive.
When you're able to have explosive plays, it takes away the need for execution. When you're talking about 13, 14-play drives, who cares about that when you can go 2 plays, 70-plus yards? And the younger Corey, Luca Corey, obviously a big part of that drive right there.
Yeah, how about it? There's 51, and now Welhorsky finds A receiver and Wright shakes free. Wright fighting for extra yardage, and he's inside the 30.
And
cramping up on the sidelines following it.
But you talk about a nice play right there. Lined up as a tight end on the left side of the screen, makes a defender miss, and then from there, you wonder if the cramp doesn't start, is he able to maybe score on that play right there? But nonetheless, a nice positive play by him, and good to see that regardless of the scoreboard, his effort, his commitment to playing tonight isn't wavering.
52 yards on the passing catch. Welhorsky hands it off. Aiden Wright. And I'm going to beg your pardon again, Tyson Wright. Aiden and Tyson look so much alike in the 8s and the 6s.
Yeah, absolutely right. But I will say for Upper St. Clair, they've done a really good job of bottling up Aiden Wright. He's one of the more explosive players, not just on this offense, but around the WPIL as a freshman. But for Upper St. Clair, they've done a nice job of making sure that he hasn't been really impactful offensively for the Lions.
Second down, 7. Welhorsky rolls. Surveys, steps up, throws it into the end zone, and it's intercepted one more time. Picked off, intercepted by Andrew Gaither. The sophomore comes up with the INT. Another takeaway from the Panthers' defense.
Yeah, the Panthers right here do a really good job understanding that Drew is rolling out to the right, trying to get something downfield. But from there, man, just Andrew Gaither reading the quarterback's eyes, catching the ones that they throw to you, and nice job right there. Not just getting the turnover, but also keeping points off the board.
USC back with the football and in control. 50-14.
When you talk about defensive adjustments, that second quarter, that's where it all started. And you can see even late in the game, still paying dividends.
First down and 10 for USC. Carry forward over the 10. Mac Caesar. Mac Caesar, a junior tailback, gets into the game. Caesar is in at quarterback. So Caesar is rolling the field here.
It's like that sometimes. I'm just like, really, that's what we're going with?
Yeah,
Caesar rules the field? Yeah, all right, cool.
I feel the eye rolls across Western Pennsylvania right now. Liggener on that carry across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm sure for Coach Junko, at this stage of the game, it's nothing like getting valuable in-stadium reps. So for the younger players, guys that maybe aren't as experienced or maybe don't have as much of a defined role this season, this is a great opportunity for those guys to get some game reps and help with their development as well.
Carry for Liggener one more time. A nice push there and across the 30 to the 32. This game, you're going to look at this score, and it is not indicative of what it could have been, as sometimes that happens in the game of football. But I think, for South Fayette, it is going to be a need to wash this one off. And I don't even know if this is one of those games where you don't even look at the tape. You just want to clean it off and move on. There's certainly things to learn from, but it just has one of those games where the ball early on did not bounce their way and snowballed pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I would also piggyback by saying missed opportunities, right?
Yes.
And not necessarily because of what Upper St. Clair did, but more importantly, the drops. When we talk about some of those self-inflicted missed opportunities early in the game, we said versus a team like Upper St. Clair, who we know this year and in previous years has shown the ability to, once they get it rolling, it's like a snowball going downhill. It's so hard to stop. And that was what we saw tonight. And unfortunately for South Fayette, they're going to look back at this tape and realize how many missed opportunities they had, where we'll be watching this game and saying it probably would feel a lot different at this stage if they capitalize on some of those opportunities early on.
Another big hole. Ligonier breaking free and into South Fayette territory down to the 35.
And there's a flag out there, so maybe we got a hold on that.
Offense number 78, 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
Big Ryan Robbins right there. But interesting, though, we talk about some of the subs that Upper St. Clair has put in the game at the skill positions. They still have that offensive line out there, and that's why you are still seeing those big holes, because that has been the theme of the night for this Panthers offense. They have been able to get what they want in terms of that offensive line, moving the South Fayette defenders out the way.
And what a big shoes to fill for Max Ligonier, wearing that number 2 that was worn by Julian Dallum, graduated last year.
We talked about that Wildcat quarterback.
I mean, one of the all-time greats at USC. So fun to watch. Caesar calls his own number there. And Julian ended up at John Carroll University. Majoring in finance.
I like that right there, man. Always good to see the guys showing that they're more than athletes, right? What are you doing off the field in terms of your education? And obviously, we talk about some of the things in terms of the nonprofit impact sectors and stuff like that. So anytime we get to hear some of these stories about these kids, man, always excites me.
Saw him on this very program last year against Peters Township, score 3 touchdowns in that upset over the Indians. Corey gets another carry. Luca Corey, that is.
Yeah, great night for the Corey family. When you think about how both of those guys played tonight, we talk about the Corey family and the DeRazio family. Everybody should be feeling good tonight.
Yeah, and Warren Timko's feeling like a king tonight, winning the homecoming king. Gianna DeRazio, homecoming queen. Nico DeRazio, 2 interceptions tonight.
He's been playing like a king on the field, especially on that defensive side of the ball.
Echeverria, punt is away. And a great one by Jacobo inside the 10. Touchdown at the 9. More high school football comes at you next Friday night here on KDK Plus. The Steelers High School Showcase puts the spotlight on single-A football. Bishop Canevin, the Crusaders, head to Fort Cherry to take on Matt Sigg and the Rangers. The WPIL's new touchdown leader calls Fort Cherry home, and we'll call it home next Friday night.
Definitely looking forward to that one. You talk about Matt Sigg and company. He's been exciting to watch these past couple of years, and for this to be the final go-around, definitely looking forward to that one.
Going to be a lot of fun. I got word that Matt's grandmother and my mother had lunch this week. So I was like, how do you know it? What is going on? But a great young man, and looking forward to that one next week. They are going to run this clock out and call it ball game. So the final score tonight of our Steelers High School Showcase is Upper St. Clair defeats South Fayette 50-14. And the Panthers move to 6-1 on the season. South Fayette drops to 5-2. And the Panthers not bounce, pounce back after their loss to Peters a week ago. And it almost was, as we said at the top of the broadcast, what do you learn from your loss? Boy, it looks like the Panthers learned a lot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I would say a statement win as well. When you talk about both of these teams coming into this matchup at 5-1, feeling confident, right? We talk about South Fayette having the big win last week. It didn't matter. Upper St. Clair wanted to prove that they were the better team, the more complete team, and a team that they truly feel can win the WPIL this year in comparison to how it ended for them a year ago.
Panthers get it done 50-14 in a game that had 5 lead changes in the first quarter and a half. And we'll go down to Allie Cohen, who has our Macero Construction Player of the Game.
Hey guys, I'm with Dante Corey, senior running back, nearly 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns today. You also got to see your little brother score a touchdown. Big smile on your face. What goes through your mind when your brother scores?
That's awesome. Just glad to give him the opportunity to be able to do that. So he's a great kid, working hard.
I know this week in practice, the big thing was focus. How do you think your preparation helped you be successful tonight?
I thought we did very well. We started off a bit slow, but we pulled through and turned it around. So
coming off a tough loss to Peters, what do you feel like you guys really did tonight that allowed you to get back on? I mean, obviously it was a close game. One team had to lose, but allowed you guys to get back on track, get that confidence back.
Just doing what we usually do, just playing together and just executing on every play and focusing. So
6-1 on the season. What's the message, do you think, from the coaching staff and from within your team moving forward the rest of the way?
Let's take care of the regular season first, go 1-0 each week, and then we'll take playoffs from there.
How fun is it? So many guys getting involved tonight. I mean, do you guys expect that when you come into the game?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. I mean, we have the mindset one play at a time and, just get the job done.
Awesome. Congrats, Dante. Appreciate your time. Get it done the rest of the way. Back to you guys.
Allie, thank you, and congratulations to our Macero Construction Player of the Game, Dante Corey. An impressive effort, but I think out of that interview, he's more excited to talk about little bro who just scored his second varsity touchdown of his career. And as we said, everybody in the league is excited that he's graduating, but looks like little bro's going to have a pack and something to say about it in his career as well.
You're definitely right about that, and you see the physical nature that both of these players play with. But excellent job by Dante Corey tonight, being one of the guys that they could really depend on offensively to just keep that ball rolling, and you can see when he gets in the open field what he's able to do.
It's interesting because we talked about this game being a game of inches for South Fayette's side, but on the other side, I think Upper St. Clair fans may remind you, we settled for 3 field goals inside the red zone, and that was something that Coach Junko even reiterated at halftime. He wasn't happy about settling for that. So the fact they scored 50, that's great, but it could have been even more.
No, that's the case. And when you're talking about a team that has their eyes set on bigger things down the line, they have to be critical of all of these little things. Yes, you scored 50, but the manner in which you did it matters. So when you talk about those field goals that they left out there versus a team like South Fayette tonight, you can get away with that. But when you're playing a Peters Township or even a Pine Richland down the line, will you be able to still have that type of success? And that's what Coach Junko was referring to from my perspective.
If you were unsure about the Upper St. Clair Panthers coming into this, a lot lost to graduation. Of course, you lose a guy like Julian Dallum. We really didn't know what Ethan Helman was capable of because, as Mike Junko simply put it, he was kind of along the ride, for the ride, much of the last couple of seasons, and now he's driving the bus. Oh, he's driving the bus.
Oh, without a doubt. And you look at the confidence that he plays with when he's throwing the football. He didn't have to fully put it on display this week like he did a week ago, but you know it's in his repertoire. And if you're Coach Junko, to see the Panthers be able to win a game where they relied on running game, where they relied on defense and special teams and didn't have to see that passing, that gives you even more confidence going forward.
Absolutely. It looked almost reminiscent of last year and the season that they rushed for over 3,000 yards and over 400 times in their season that they went undefeated. And, of course, the Panthers are eyeing up, and they are unequivocally a contender in 5A. The last 2 weeks certainly have proven that. Let's take a look at some scores from around the WPIAL. And we got Fort Cherry is a final. They take down Cornell tonight 56-20. Newcastle is a final 34-14 over Montour. Dominating performance by the Red Hurricanes tonight. Newcastle's back.
You better believe it. You better believe that.
How about Norwin taking care of Hempfield tonight, 33-26. Chartiers Valley takes down Bell Vernon by one, 36-35 in an absolute
believe them
thriller.
Believe them.
How about the Colts? The Colts are for real. Central Valley 34-21. That game got interesting. Central Valley was up 24-0 in that game, and now North Catholic trying to mount a crazy comeback, and Trinity has come back to take the lead on TJ 26-22, 33 seconds. Oh, now it's 33. I'm being told 33-22. Trinity is going to beat Thomas Jefferson. They did that 2 years ago with Jonah Williamson at quarterback, and the Jaguars are going down tonight. So a few upsets from across the WPIAL. What stands out to you?
I mean, obviously you talk about Trinity pulling off the big win against Thomas Jefferson. Yes. That stands out. But to me, Chartiers Valley. I mean, we talk about how they've been playing this season, and coming into this matchup, it would be important for them to keep that momentum going. And they found a way to get the win, 36-35.
I'm going Newcastle. I think the Red Hurricanes, not the fact they just won, they won convincingly over Montour.
20-point win. We talked about what they did last week and how we felt, okay, yes, you beat an Aliquippa team, but they didn't have their main quarterback out there. Didn't matter this week versus Montour. Find a way and prove that you are as good as the people of Newcastle feel they are.
Been a lot of fun, and now we're officially headed on the stretch run of the WPIL regular season. Hard to believe. Mo, it's always a pleasure.
Hey, the feelings are mutual, and anytime we get a chance to call a game like tonight, I'm always excited about it. Plenty of offensive action, plenty of defensive stops as well, and as a whole, just a really good night of football.
Good night of football on homecoming night for Upper St. Clair. They beat South Fayette 50-14, and they showing that they're for real in the South Hills and all the 5A. For our entire JRM Video production team of Jake Mislipchik, Corey Berger, and our entire crew, for Arthur Moe, Charlie Cohen, and Damon McDermott, I'm Matt Fargo saying this has been a presentation of the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. Until next week, when we talk to you from Fort Cherry, thanks so much for watching. The 10 o'clock news is next. And good night, Pittsburgh. We'll talk to you next week on the Steelers High School Showcase.